Uh, Thank you, sir. So, this trust is of 1888, based in Pune. It runs 45 schools and colleges all over Maharashtra. 44 schools and colleges all across Maharashtra, and higher educational institutions like ours. In fact, the three colleges here next to us is Podar College of Commerce and Ruya College of Arts and Science. They are part of the same family of institutions that are run by this trust. Uh, this college is headed by Professor Dr. Uday Salunke, very dynamic leader, a very close friend of Dr. Natarajan and Mr. Shivanandan. He's a very accomplished educationist, and he's the recipient of the prestigious Eisenhower Fellowship USA, which is acknowledges and honors people who are thought leaders. And he's behind what our institution is today. From where it started in 1977 to today, we have come long way, and we are among the top 20 private B schools in the country today, and among the top 4 or 5 in the western region. So that is thanks to the kind of leadership that he has. He's also a very prolific writer. He's on several industry bodies like the EU. He's the chairman of the education committee of EU Chambers of Commerce in India. He's also the chairperson of the Gujarat National Law University and a member of the Academic Council and General Council of the Maharashtra National Law University. He's also the president of the Association of Indian Management Schools, which is a body that we are part of, and the National HRD, or Human Resources Network, Development Network. He's been a scholar, visiting scholar to MDH University, Sweden, and European University, Germany. So this about it, and we were set up in the year 2000. MDC, which we are part of here, this department was set up in the year 2000 to exclusively impart training for corporates and bodies such as yours. And we have clients in both pharma, healthcare, as well as many other domains. Some of our top clients, Larsen Toubro, Bayer India, Apotex, for whom we are doing a program right now, which is a Canadian pharma company, and many others. With that, thank you very much, all of you, for being here. And I thank MOS for interesting this program to be conducted here. I'm very grateful to Dr. Natarajan, Dr. Taswala, Dr. Rajesh Joshi, and all the office bearers, some of whom may not have joined us today. I really appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed this program. Happy learning. Over to you, sir.
Hello. Actually, I have a small PPT. Yeah.
You want to, just a small token of appreciation we'd like to give
Okay.
to the office bearer. Dr. Julius Caesar, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Hello. Can we have the PPT run, please? Somebody? Who's there to manage? My PPT is to be run. Very good morning to all of you. I am sure everybody is charged up today. Today is the second session. We had the induction taken place in HV Desai. I think more than 20 people were there that time. And we are lucky to have majority here all over Maharashtra. So we had planned, this is the first time in Maharashtra that we have grooming the leadership development program and grooming our own dear members. So initially I had a thought कि भाई, how to go about it. So well, we have our mentor, Dr. Natarajan, who is always there to help me. So I said, sir, you become the chairman of this committee and we take a lead. And we have more and more people coming for this. So when I had sent the first Google form, we had about 8 to 10 people coming in. So then we structured it so nicely. In the next session, we had almost 22 people. Ultimately, we decided Dr. Tejaswini Varimbe, she is also there. She was the course moderator that time, and we had a fantastic session. Everybody who were there, I think Dr. Trupti was there. She was online, and Dr. Arti was there. She is witness to a very, very good program, once in a lifetime, which was done by the Maharashtra Ophthalmological Society at level of AIOS. So I'm glad that we have inducted 22 people that time, and today we had the number of 40, but a very little less. But I'm glad more and more people are interested in this session. Why do we require leaders? Now, as you see, the representation of Maharashtra at the all India level is hardly any. We are a strong 3,000 member group. But when you see the numbers who are at the AIOS office level, the managing committee and all, we are hardly one or two. Over the last 10 years, only about 6 or 7 people represented AIOS. Mainly the Delhi people take charge of it. So I said, why we can't do it? मुंबई सब में आगे है, महाराष्ट्र सब में आगे है, पूना सब में आगे है. All these cities all over Maharashtra are very well. I mean, we are so well up, better than the Delhi people. So then I thought about this. Before I took my presidency, I had planned all the 21 committees, and one of the committees was is the Leadership Development Committee. So we wanted to groom good leaders, and I'm glad lot of people are giving good response. Even day before yesterday, I had कि बाबा मेरे को भी लो सर, आप है क्या अभी भी चांस हमको second session है तो are you there to include? So I took permission of Dr. Natarajan. He said, take as many people, we want more and more leaders to be groomed. And this is one of the best institute. Myself, during Dr. Ajit Babu Maji, when he was the chairman of the ARC, I was included, of course, out of age. The age group was that time 40. So I had already crossed that age group, but with the blessings of Dr. Natarajan and Dr. Ajit Babu, I could do it. And we had a full session here at Wellinger, long time back. I think it was about 15 years back. Right, Dr. Natarajan? It was almost 15 years back when I did my leadership development. And it has definitely helped me in a long, long way. Now, that is what I would like to share with you people, how my life was, in spite of all the difficulties, how you trying to manage it and come out as a winner and always smiling. So during my school days, if you see, we had hardly a meal in a day. We were from the lower middle class group. We have three of the siblings, myself, my elder brother, and the younger sister. We had no money to pay the tuition fees and buy a proper dress for ourselves. In spite of that, I finished as a topper throughout till the 10th standard, and got into the MBBS admission. And on my very first day, my father was in hepatic coma. He was the only sole earner. There was nobody else to support us. In fact, all my uncles who came were residents of Surat. When they came back, they told me, Abhi, now you become a clerk, do a BCom and finish it off. But luckily, our savior was Dr. H.V. Sardesai. He was one of the top physicians. On a small change in this, see how much it matters in medical this thing, treatment. My daddy was totally bloated, landed up like a sumo on a bed. And we had all given up hopes. Everybody was there. He came up and he just changed the input-output chart. And within the 3 days, he recovered and came back out. And that is how I am a doctor, because if he had not survived, we would have been somebody else. Then I passed my MBBS in 82 and I wanted to get an admission in for the postgraduate. I was of course interested in gynecology at that time, but I was getting a diploma that time, and I wanted a a degree. So we went in for the MS ophthalmology. I was unlucky there too. There, somebody who had lesser marks was given that seat. We had to fight a case in the Bombay High Court, and the Bombay High Court passed a ruling that you create two more seats. One was an OBC candidate who was also with me, and an open merit. And ultimately, then I got the MBBS. So that is how I finished my MBBS with lot of struggle. That time also we had no fees to pay. So I did a house job in Bombay Hospital, and we managed the fees of the Supreme Court lawyer or a High Court lawyer who had charged that time around 25,000. So me and my friend, we collected whatever money and we tried to meet the ends. Then at Shankar Netralaya. Now, BJ Medical College was not a very premier institute for ophthalmology. There we did not have a proper slit lamp working that time. And to do an MS ophthalmology pass out from there and to use where slit lamp was a luxury, and the Shankar Netralaya was one of the top institutes that time. So when he took the interview, I was worried whether I'll be selected or not. But when I gave the interview, he said, "No, we'll definitely give you a chance. You're from Pune, and your otherwise the theory knowledge is fine. So you come in as a this thing fellow, and he joined as a VR fellow. So I did my fellowship there also, and it was so nice. There the pyramid system was going on. We were told that within 3 months, if you don't perform, you will be shown the door. So ultimately, we finished all the 12 months, and after that, Dr. Chief told me, we call him Chief, Dr. Badrinath. He said, "Why don't you do a research fellowship also now? Now that you excelled in this." So we continued and we did a diabetic research fellowship. So I completed 1 year and 3 months there. Then we came to, when I started my practice, 86, I finished my fellowship and came to Pune for 87, and I wanted to start my private practice. Well, daddy had retired. We had absolutely no funds. There was not even a proper rental house for us to stay because we had a company house. And then we were looking for it for that. My dad had paid, my elder brother had started his own industry, small scale industry. So it put him all his savings into this thing, and he had no money for me. So he said, "You try and manage it." That time, the guarantee that you wanted for the clinic, even a single instrument. I remember I wanted to buy an aqua microscope. There was no guarantor to give us this thing. My daddy had retired. So one of my close friends was a savior for me, and that is how I could buy a scooter and a slit lamp and a microscope. That also a portable microscope and a refraction box. That is all. We did not have a own place. I had to go 10 places to see, and ultimately my name is Taswala. So in Marathi, Tas means every hour you see him somewhere else. So every hour I was at some other place to try and earn something. And that time we used to charge only 30 rupees as the consulting. So, and the cataract charges were only 400. That also the general practitioner used to keep about 150 for himself, and 250 is what we used to get. So that is how we built up the practice. I used to travel on scooter with a refraction box and an ophthalmoscope. And a portable microscope, we used to have a small PT and carry it around and see to it that we do the surgery at the general practitioner's hospital, where we used to tell them to do the fumigation, everything, keep everything ready, do this cataract surgery. Next week we go call them for follow-up. They were not ready to come all the way to Pune to show us. So such were the hard days that time, and we scraped through that. Then following on the simultaneously, I was already 29, finishing the fellowship. So with my marriage, the first one, she had schizophrenia, very bad this thing, and we had an abnormal child. He had to undergo 8 surgeries, one after another, in the first 5 years of life. Simultaneously, they had filed a case in the family court saying that you have asked for this, that, and all false allegations. Ultimately, that led to divorce. The second marriage happened about 2-3 years later. She had a very bad bipolar depression. So from that also, it took almost 5 years for me to come out of it. In between, my father fell down and he was bedridden for about 5 years. So, and ultimately what happened, brother had utilized all my father's pension money, and he also came to stay with me. He also landed with severe depression because he had a very bad experience about his industry.
So he could not come out. He had huge financial losses and he exhausted all my dad's money. So I was heavily drained, repaying loans for my clinic, my residence, medical and surgical equipment, all the court expenses, almost 20,000 per month. I was paying backdated alimony from 2004. And I was also looking after solely. There was no backup regarding expenses for my ailing mother, father, brother, and my child. So there was a lot of mental agony, but I stood very strong. They were critically ill. They were all bedridden. There was no caretaker. We had to keep 24 hours people to look after. And of course, the sole earner of the whole family that time. My brother created a lot of ruckus, so we had to shift him to a mental hospital. Very unfortunately expired. We lost him in 2015. My mother then fell ill. She was bedridden throughout. She could not do. She was a good cook, but everything was now she became totally dependent. And ultimately, for 7 years she was bedridden, and we lost her in 2020. That is during the COVID times, not because of COVID, but because of her septicemia. Now the only child which I have, he seeing all this landed him in depression. So he also required a psychiatric counseling and treatment. So he was not doing physically, academically well. He was into law. So ultimately, I had to make him leave law because he had multiple attempts to do. And then he joined optometry. And then I coached him and he came out with flying colors and now he is with me. At the professional front, side by side, I was seeing that Papa was some option to open up my mind because this was too bogged down on the personal front. So what do? I took a bank loan, had all the surgical equipment, bought a place, and then ultimately went in for the secretary post at the Pune Ophthalmological Society. And over a period of 2 to 3 years, I finished the secretaryship, the joint secretary, and vice president, and the president in 2010. Side by side, I was fighting a court case in Baroda, 900 kilometers from Pune, every month where I had to go and visit. Not only the mental agony, but a lot of cost put to it and the loss of practice. Took over as the secretary of the second largest society in India, that is Maharashtra, in 2013. Then I applied for the vice presidentship. Here also I was unfortunate. That time I was told to withdraw by a senior advisor, and then it was in the favor of another candidate. Then I fought an election and again lost in 2018. That was the advisor had told me that I'll be unopposed, I'll be given the post of presidentship, but it never happened. So I had to fight an election and I lost miserably that time. Then I fought another election again at the home ground of the opposition candidate and won with a handsome margin. During COVID times, of course, everybody has faced this. So there was loss of revenue. So instead of repenting, we started investment webinars. Most of them had attended that. We had 1,000 plus audience that time. To create an alternate source for income for not only for myself, but for the rest of the people also. Then I learned a lot of hobbies that time, palmistry, feng shui, Vedic astrology, to have this. And then when I became a president in October this year, 30th of October 2021, I had planned 21 committees about a month and a half prior with all this, because my motto was to have overall wellness of an MOS ophthalmology member. And that is what we have tried to achieve. Over 160 programs, events we have done till now. In spite of facing all the hardship, I'm alone at home with my child, managing the home front, the clinic front, and the MOS society. We are planning to do all this. Overall, these are the committees, mentor and mentee. A lot of people are mentors here in this, and mentees also. Leadership Development Committee, you're seeing it, how it is functioning. Diabetic retinopathy, sir is coming up with a project tomorrow for all of you that you are supposed to do. Young Ophthalmologist Committee, we had number of programs. Women empowerment, there are multiple programs. Aarti is also part of it. Preeti is there. Supti is there. Academic Committee, we had started a new series of preferred practice patterns in ophthalmology in that. So we have finished about 6 series with Dr. Santosh Honavar, I forgot his name, Dr. Akshay Nayak is there, and now recently with Dr. Prasad on refraction and rest of on oculoplasty. Yoga and meditation, we had courses of Atma Yoga, which was very, very well attended. Dr. Tejaswini Valimbi is witness to that. Then we have the sports committee. Recently, we had the annual sports tournament. About we have 5 zones in Maharashtra. So we have conducted zonal matches and ultimately in 6 disciplines. That is 3 outdoors and 3 indoors. And ultimately had the annual tournament. And one more is coming up on the 9th. Cultural committee again, zone wise we are doing it, and we have the annual cultural gathering on the 14th of this October during the MOSCON. Grievance committee, lot of grievances from the MOS members regarding trade and all has been solved. Dr. Ranjit Manyar is part of that. He is the chairman, he is tried helping solve that. Medical legal committee headed by Dr. A.P. Deshpande, who is also the head at the AIS level, the chairman, is helping us in the medical legal. Advocacy committee, we have Dr. Mahatme and Dr. Colonel Deshpande to help us out. Lot of issues like the daycare center we have already put up. This session of parliament, it will be passed. So it will be a big relief to each and every person, because what we are under is the Bombay Nursing Home Act. From that, we are trying to get it into the daycare center. So every ophthalmologist, right from the urban to the semi-urban to the rural, is going to get benefited. Membership drive committee. This time, every year, I think 100 plus or 70 plus or 150. This time we have already added almost 500 members, 200 are pending. So we'll be having 1/3 of the membership increase. And this will be again first time in the history of MOS. Research e-library and e-journal club. This is a new concept. I handed it over to Dr. Vaishal Kenya. Dr. Preeti Kamdar is part of that committee. We had a podcast session and a series of podcasts which has happened. Journal club meeting every month we are holding it, and it is a big success. This is a fantastic initiative which has been well covered by Dr. Vaishal Kenya and Dr. Sabyasachi. Quiz committee, monthly quiz, those who have attended, they have prize winners. We are going to have almost 10 quizzes we have completed. Tomorrow evening also, I am having the 10th quiz. Following that, we'll be having the finals at the MOSCON. Then we have the public awareness, the financial literacy committee. As I just said, that during the webinar, we had the financial literacy series started, and every month we are having it, right from share markets to mutual funds to real estate, and even we have covered inheritance and the will. What all is there? The best of the speakers, we have tried to get it. The public awareness committee, we are having the walkathons, and we also have the SAM TV series. Every month, we are sending 3 people on SAM TV. And every zone, we are having 3 candidates. So 15 people are on Akashvani every month on various programs on Akashvani. Fundraising committee, of course, Dr. Natarajan and rest of them are helping me. Sir, yeah, we are over. Yeah, professional indemnity committee and the international observership committee, we have also had short-term observership. So this is how a leader can take you forward the whole of the society. That is what was the point to tell you. At least 1.5 months prior, before I took over, we could plan it. This was all because of the mentoring by the LDP, that is the Leadership Development Committee. So you definitely people are going to benefit in a big way once you attend it, and do it sincerely. Even the alumni we are allowing in the leadership development program at the AIOS level and also at the MOS level. We'll have a concluding session and the MOSCON, where again Dr. Natarajan will be chairing, I'll be co-chairing. Dr. Gitanjali Sharma is going to be the moderator of that session. Do attend it and see to it that how much you get benefited over a period of time. I thank the Wellinger people who have really taught us very nicely. That time also, Shivanandan sir, the commissioner, had come that time and given a very good lecture. He is today also is there. We are nicely backed up by all the committees to see that we take MOS forward and become the premium society in India. We are already almost #1, because the DOS people are asking me what all initiatives you have taken. We would like to replicate it. So that itself is a big thing for us at AMOS level. Thank you very much for allowing me. We welcome you all for this LDP session, and I'm sure it is going to be a big success with the B school people there to help us out and mentor us. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Natarajan, sir. Yeah, Rajesh, please come over. As he is the honorary secretary, he is the backbone of Maharashtra Ophthalmological Society. With so many events, he has hardly had any time for himself. And today also, he is here to see that this program becomes a big success. Over to you, Rajesh.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. You have already heard great leader. product of AIOS LDP. As you can see, he formed so many committees, and I remember when I joined him as a joint secretary, he formed 22 committees before taking over, almost 6 months before taking over as a presidentship. And you can see the result of it. Merlin Hewson long back said, good leaders organize and align people around what they needs to do. But great leaders motivate and inspire people with why they are doing it. That is what we are going to see in next 2 days. Good morning, one and all. On behalf of MOS, I welcome you all to this program of leadership development. I always look after him as a motivator, Dr. Natarajan sir, guiding force. I saw him, or you must have seen him when he came. Everything was turned out, and everything was appeared to be electrifying. You call him, and he's always there. The slides are not moving. Oh, yeah, sorry. Sorry. I always look him as a motivator, guiding force. You call him, and he's always there. I have seen him in past for organizing so many events from distance, but this time closely. He called me up from Malaysia. In fact, I was in OT and network was not there. But he gave him message that please call him whenever you are free. And so that is how I can see him, his cohesiveness to organize the events. His cohesive efforts and coordination with all involved in today's program, marvelous. His enthusiasm is absolutely infective. Another leader, Dr. Mahatme, I have seen him closely from postgraduate teacher to eye surgeon and now member of parliament. Completely revolutionized himself from shy to present persona. Let us learn from our leaders. Make most of it. Many thanks to Dr. Natarajan sir and team of Agrawal Adityajyot Hospital for organizing today's events. Dr. D. Shivanandan sir, Mr. Nikhil Masurkar sir, for sparing valuable time. They will be guiding us and giving us the pulse of leadership development. Wellinger Institute for excellent arrangement, their faculties and visiting faculties of WE School, and of course Entod for all the support. Thank you and welcome you all. Next, I think Natarajan sir would like to guide us.
By the time we are connecting, we will have a quick introduction. So starting from Professor, what's the name? Professor Sharada already started.
Good morning, friends and my seniors. I am Dr. Naina Poddar, Professor and HOD in Nair Hospital. Thank you.
Good morning and hello everyone. I'm Dr. Pooja Shah. I'm Assistant Professor at Nair Hospital. Good morning everyone. I'm Dr. Aarti Heda. I'm a consultant at National Institute of Ophthalmology based at Pune.
Hi everyone, Dr. Preeti Kamdar. I'm a glaucoma specialist practicing in Mumbai, in fact in Matunga, just 5 minutes away from the institute.
Well, you know me, Dr. Jignesh Saswala, Honorary President, Maharashtra Ophthalmological Society, based in Pune, Darshan Eye Care Center.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Dharmesh Kar, a practicing vitreoretinal surgeon in Borivali. Morning, everyone. I'm Piyush Bansal. So I'm from Pune as well, and I'm a retina surgeon practicing in Pune. I'm also currently the secretary of Pune Ophthalmological Society and member scientific committee of my MOS. It's very nice to be over here with everybody.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Asmita Patne. I'm from a small town, Gadinglas in Kolhapur district. I'm a cornea consultant, Gadinglas. Yeah, my father. So I'm a cornea, yes. Yes. I'm a cornea and cornea consultant. Yes. Yes. And sir makes a point every time my grandfather visits. He personally makes a phone call to say that I wonder you do that for every patient with that energy, and that's very inspiring, sir.
Hello, good morning. Myself, Dr. Archana Chaudhary, anterior segment surgeon and refractive from Mumbai. I'm looking forward for the day today, and I'm wanting to learn a lot of business management, especially in my practice. Thank you.
Yes. I was about to tell.
Thank you.
Gitanjali is opened up.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir, for the honor. But today I'm a student here. I'm looking forward to learn a lot of things. Sure, sir, sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Chipra. I'm a private practitioner at Thane, mostly anterior surgeon, cataract and LASIK surgeon. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Ashish Bachao. I'm a cornea, cataract, and refractive surgery consultant practicing in Thane, again, next to ma'am. Thank you. I am also associated with an organization for simulation development for cataract surgery. I lead the technology aspect of it. I'm the global director, product development for Help Me See, and we are on simulation development for cataract with SICS, PECO. With sir, we are working on trauma. So yeah.
Don't feel shy. Speak loudly of your achievement. We are here to share each other's achievement also.
Yeah. Good morning, all. I am Dr. Saket Patil, cornea fellow, currently practicing anterior segment and general ophthalmology at my private practice in Dhule.
Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Tejaswini Vaimbe, practicing at Pune, mainly glaucoma and medical retina.
Also is very strong permanent player. Also within 5 minutes, whatever he can get, we'll have it at night in the evening. Yes.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Trupti Lambert. I am from Nagpur. My specialty is squint, pediatrics, neurophthal, cataract, as well as complex things. I'm working since last almost like 10 years in private practice. And I thank you, Dr. Taswala sir, for giving me this opportunity to attend MOSCON, though I'm being registered with the ARS series also. Like I can.
Plus point of 50 is
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Bhushan Chaudhary, Assistant Professor in Nair Hospital. I'm Dr. Bhushan Chaudhary,
Okay.
Assistant Professor in Nair Hospital.
Good morning, everyone. Myself. Yes, sir. Myself, Dr. Nitin Pawar, working as Assistant Professor in Department of Ophthalmology in Nair Hospital. Currently, under the guidance of Dr. Naina Poddar ma'am, we are having a great mentor because she always, rather than forces, she always pushes us to do the good activity for the department and explore the department's activity to help for the poor and to the society always. Currently, we have carried out the recently for the National Eyesight Portrait Week. We have carried a lot of activities for the nursing staff and students. So we thankful for the Dr. Naina ma'am. She's being a great mentor for us and helping us to all of. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Ramchandra. I'm private practitioner practicing at Nanded. I am also a student of Naina ma'am and Preeti ma'am is my mentor.
Practicing where?
Nanded. Dr.
Nanded.
Ramchandra Hendge.
Good morning, everybody. I am Dr. Geetanjali Sharma. I'm practicing in Pune. My main recognition over here is I am a very, very proud LDP alumni AIOS, and the whole credit goes to Dr. Natarajan. And I have specially come today and I have brought my son who is in the second year of residency of internal medicine to listen to these lectures of Dr. Natarajan sir and Dr. Shivanandan sir. Sir, you might be remembering me, we were neighbors. And he was role model when I was in school for all of us as a young dashing IPS officer.
No, he's still not come. He'll come at
He's coming.
11:45.
Yeah. So you must all listen to Shivanandan sir. I have come specially for that. And Natarajan sir is my mentor. Especially, I was president of Pune Ophthalmological Society during the challenging year of century, that is COVID times. So all the planning got washed off, whatever we have planned, and we had to change
No, I
everything.
was supposed to be the chief guest for your first program.
Yes.
And got cancelled.
Got cancelled because of COVID, but we changed everything and the whole credit goes to LDP. It is not just Wellinger and sir, but every time, like after doing this program, you all must attend all the refreshers course. There are courses outside also, like outdoor activities, where like it is like commando training. That also you should do. You should always attend wherever Dr. Natarajan sir gives lecture. That you must attend because he tells you and he inspires you every time through his lectures as well as through his work. So we all must attend. Thank you very much, Dr. Natarajan sir. Whole credit to you for all this LDP going forward. He had, in fact, with his efforts, we had LDP at ICO last year. And he had invited me, Naina and Vaishali, specially for that event. So thank you very much, because for the first time, we got an international platform as well because of you. So that's really great.
So
Thank you.
I'm breaking a good news. I have become the first office bearer of 165 years of ICO from
Great.
India. So
Give
I'm
a big round
treasurer
of
now.
applause.
I'm treasurer now. One day we'll become
Great,
president.
great,
So
great, great.
people are watching all over the world. Yes.
Yeah, great. He's my son. He'll introduce himself.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Rutvik Sharma, and I'm a PGY2 internal medicine resident in Rochester, New York. Thank you.
And you should do something for a project from India.
Yes.
Because
Sure.
I mentor now second year MBBS student from the medicine in US from what is the university? Rhode Island, the Browns University, and another one from Johns Hopkins, and one more from UCLA. Plus, I'm already mentored a girl who studied in Jefferson High School in Virginia. She did an AI program on diabetic retinopathy, and she wrote to 5 institutes in India, and somehow they said you are in school and they will not give, and I supported. And she was the president's scholar. She even fought against Donald Trump when Donald Trump reduced the research fund and against outside White House. And she's now if you Google her, Kavya Kopagaru. I mean, she's a firebrand. She was at 14. She designed AI program for DR. She sent a 3D printing, sent it to me for validating. I did it and sent it back. And unfortunately, she shifted to neurology now. And that was the impressive thing in the US. This guy from Brown's University working in ophthalmology from a school. So I'm really impressed with the US education. So I keep telling, why can't you, if you decide, why not you do ophthalmology from even the school? So that's great. And Jefferson High School is special school for science. And I think you can go anywhere and whatever level. And she's now doing neurology, unfortunately, lost for ophthalmology.
Thank you, sir, for allowing him and inviting him for
Welcome.
today's
Yes.
program. LV Prasad, I know. Yes. Yes. His cousin works and he's honorary professor at University of Rochester. He's from LV Prasad. Dr. Vivek Dave, he's a VR surgeon. So he's his first cousin. Okay.
Actually, Dr. James Takwala was the chairman that time. So he has donated the entire chair, whatever you're using, real chair, from the University of Rochester, and it's there in LV Prasad.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
And G.N. Rao inaugurated our adityajyot along with Dr. Badrinath. What? Yes. Very good. Okay. Very good. We'll do that. I'm also the chairman for AOSDR screening, so we have to do lots to do.
Good morning, all. Myself, Prashant Jadhav. I'm the center head for the Adityajyot Hospital, led by the Dr. Natarajan sir. And as ma'am, you correctly said, we are the fortunate to get the leader like this. We are here more than 11 hours on daily basis. We are with him, and each day is the new for us. Each day we learn about the medicines. Each day we learn about how to better care for the patients. It's all about Dr. Natarajan sir. Thanks, sir. This is our Adityajyot Eye Hospital team.
A very warm good morning to all the dignitaries present here. My name is Sneha J. Philip. I did my bachelor's of optometry from Bharati Vidyapeeth, Pune. And I am an optometrist at Adityajyot Eye Hospital. And my guru and my mentor is Dr. Professor S. Natarajan. And I want to give a special thanks to Dr. Jignesh for sharing his personal story with us and inspiring me and all of us at law. Thank you so much, sir.
Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Rupali Kadam. I am also from the team Dr. Agarwal. I am a new joinee actually, and I am posted in Adityajyot to learn everything from Natarajan sir. And sir, of course, your story is very inspiring. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity to me. Thank you, sir.
No, do it. Come on, introduce.
Good morning. Myself, Suyog Savadekar. I take care of the marketing part of the Adityajyot as well as the Mumbai region of the Dr. Agarwal. So that we have 3 hospitals, that is in Vadala, Adityajyot, that is the Dr. Mita Ayush Clinic, and the Advanced Eye Hospital. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Suraj Jaiswar. I'm also working with Dr. Adityajyot Eye Hospital. सर से एक्चुअली मैंने बहुत कुछ सीखने मिलते हैं हमें नटराजन सर से, और हमारे यहाँ भी 3 ब्रांच अभी जो सहयोग ने बताया है. थैंक यू.
Yeah, Raman, you are the main person. Without you, you can't be there. No? And Anirudh is my person. No?
Yeah, I am Dr. Aniruddha Mahindrakar. In fact, I am an ex-fellow of sir, and I was very shy and very not open when I joined, sir, but after coming out of sir's training, I changed and now I am heading many departments of retina as well as conducting PG teaching programs and many other great. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Professor Sharad, can I have the slides? Can I have can we have the next is Dr. Ajit Joshi, no? Okay, but can you have my slides? Hello, Samir. Wait a minute. I have to finish quickly so that we are skipping the tea break because we started late, and Shivanandan will be here at 11:45. I'm going to have a break for 11:45 for the natural reasons. So we can have Professor Ajit Joshi come. I'll just do my. So it's just an introduction for the LDP, and I think not that one. So this I prepared for the AOS program. So yeah, so this I prepared for the AOS leadership program. So the main thing is to talk about. So this was actually introduced by me in the AOS in 2007 when I was the chairman ARC, and we are doing it every year. And thanks to now Chitra continuing it. And this is my AOS AO alumni, and I think unfortunately that is the only year they had invited an Indian and a national society. Now they are only inviting supranational society. So we have one representative from Asia Pacific and Europe and maybe Latin America. The problem is, so that time I think thanks to AOS for only sending my name, and they had a selection committee. They usually select 18 candidates from each state. They have 50 states in US, and then I was one of them, and I'm glad many of them have become president of American Academy of Ophthalmology and great leaders. And Dr. Cindy Crawford, she was the American Academy president 3 years back, and Daniel Bradford, he's going to become, I think, president shortly. And so the whole idea is to provide orientation and skill development to future leaders of ophthalmology. And I remember those days in leadership, they asked why you want a leadership training. I hope you will probably spread. The reason is I think everybody is a leader, but it's all hidden, and you have to bring it out. So the idea is to identify the potential to become leaders and provide orientation and skill to allow potential leaders to promote ophthalmology locally, nationally, and internationally. And finally, whoever is an LDP alumni from India, wherever you are from, you can be a part of the AO alumni, as well as they have made a global LDP alumni. I'm having a global LDP directors meeting on 1st October in Chicago. And the facilitation of a promotional program, graduate into a leadership positions locally, nationally, and internationally. Anyhow, you have to compete yourself, but I think the whole idea is to create the program. So we requested the scientific committee to involve the AOS LDP alumni, and then these are usually you're going to go through this now. And the whole idea, my idea is to start a project, but each one can use this for your own personal development. And we had sessions, as Dr. Gitanjali mentioned, we do this program with the Pegasus, which is an outdoor. Even V School can organize that. And I think as Dr. Gitanjali said, you have to look for that. And definitely even the USAO LDP program is supported by Allergan, here supported by Entod. Earlier, they were supported by CIPLA. And so we have 4 sessions, as Dr. Taswala mentioned. And this is the alumni with whom I graduated in 2006 in US. So only problem was you had to go 4 times a year to academy, and that time nobody was going, but now I go 6 times a year to the US. And this is that time my father was there. This is the first program we did in 2007, and you can see Dr. B.K. Naik. I invited him that time, and Dr. Bharti Kashyap, and Dr. Ruchi Goel, and all that Nandan Sawnal did. We did that in Preetham Midtown, and this is again in we school that time. Dr. Iyer was there, and you can see no, Shivanandan is not there in the picture, and here you can see Professor Uday Salanke sitting to my right, and Professor Iyer on the to my left, and this is again you can see the next Cochin organizer is there, Dr. Sai, and this is LDP taken again. We had this famous man, the Chanakya Radhakrishnan, who written book, and now Shivanandan also written a book with him, and you can see it again, Dr. Uday Salanke, and this is alumni in 2010, and then this is in 2011. We have Dr. N.S.D. Raju here, which was there in AOS that time, and this is in 2011, and this is again in and this is again you can see Shivanandan there. Every time I have a good, this is when Dr. Ajit Babu was the president, and then we have this is again in 2014, and this is 2018, and you can see in there I think Dr. Naina Poddar is there. So so we have, and that, so this is how I daily start my day. And I remember my mentor, Dr. Badrinath, who trained me not only as an ophthalmologist, as an excellent human being, and my best friend Shivanandan. So all the time I have planted 3 trees for my parents, grandparents, and one of them Shivanandan only installed. And that's my grandfather, who was an eye doctor. So that's his name I have. And every day I keep explaining to them what is Sundaram and Natarajan to the whole world, because South Indian name is only we have first name is Natarajan, and that's my grandmother who was there during the inauguration of Adityajyot, and I owe everything to Dr. Badrinath. And then so I created this one vision, one AOS, one India, and that was the vision which I did 5-point program for all India. So the main thing is to stop blindness. So now I have started a NGO, Section 8 company called Sundaram Natarajan Blind for India. So my idea is to eradicate blindness from India, not just like any other program. So we also did this 200 years of ophthalmology. So thank you very much for coming. So can we have the next one to talk? So only thing we request is we are 10:45. Okay. So we will request him only to have for 1 hour, so that we can have a 10-minute break by the time Shivanandan can come. So any questions by the time the next faculty comes? Anybody wants to? Yeah, Priti. Yeah.
This is the first one I'm attending.
Right.
So should we be attending multiple ones? Are they different from each other?
No,
You
no, no.
mentioned
The
pediatrics
idea
also.
of the LDP is we want fresh graduates every time, because that's one of the reasons we keep below 40. The idea was to develop them for a longer. So you can, that Dr. Gitanjali said, you keep looking for something else, because we have to give for the next batch, no? I'm also, one day I told already Taswala, the succession plan is how long to be a mentor. I said, I'm not tired. I said, I want to get him, he's finishing his presidency. So next year I told him for a MOS, I invited Dr. Santosh also. I said, you become the, because he's already in AOS LDP long time back, maybe even before Naina and before Gitanjali. And so, and plus he is my first in Shankaratralaya.
You mentioned you had attended 4. I mean,
No,
American
4
Academy
sessions.
was 4
No, 4
sessions.
sessions in a year. So in MOS also, that's what he said. No, we had an initiation, then in HV Desai, and now here, and then finally in the MOS conference.
Hello.
Only thing, because of COVID, everything is delayed.
As a clarification, I would just like to say, once he started introducing this
11:45.
AIOS LDP, every state we used to send 1 member only. So this year also we sent 1, but Dr. Chitra Ramamurthy 2 more this time. I had said to let more people do it. What is the problem with it? So the idea of having it, and every year we have at least 4 sessions which are conducted. One is the initiation session, last is the concluding session, and in between there are 2. In between, all the alumni also attended. That was very one good program which had come at Pegasus. What Gitanjali just said. Okay, it's like a commando-like training also. So your mental workup and the physical workup, everything happens. They give you a small project and tell you to work in that time frame, say 1 hour, 1.5 hour, to do a XYZ project. Nothing to do with ophthalmology. But you develop leadership skills very nicely once you are put into that. It's fantastic. So I had attended that earlier also in Bangalore. They had the Pegasus people had done it. It was fantastic. We school people,
So
of
the
course, they have
course
been
of LDP is
conducting
4
on a
sessions.
regular basis.
Initiation and one session. That's what all India we did. Here they did it in HVDSI.
Yes.
And the second one in
And-
V school. So in all India, what we did is all India, then V school, then we did it in Pegasus,
And then the
finally
concluding
in,
session.
the next AOS.
Usually-
the conclusion. So there's the 2 sessions. One is initiating and another one is completing.
So it is a good training period. Everybody can attend. We'll be seeing that all these alumni also later on joins for the further programs. So everything is done different. It's not the same repetition. What we are seeing last year may not be repeated this year. The speakers are different. Everything is different. So make it a point to be part of this alumni group throughout. We have a WhatsApp group also. We'll be adding you. Even MOS, I'm going to create it. We have already created the
No
participant.
break, sir.
We'll have
Because
more
we are
of those
breaking at
people coming in.
11:45.
Dr.
Whoever
Natarajan
comes,
is.
why is it?
Sorry?
No, I know, but
Yeah,
11:45 will have.
I
The
already
sharp
told
12
you
we have
that
to
we are
start.
going to have
So
the
problem
concluding
with that
session
is
and
you won't wait.
MOSCON.
And we
So
still
make it a
have
point to
problem.
attend. It's not that only this session you
Where
attend
is
and
he?
you're an LDP
No, that we
candidate.
already
We are
told,
going to issue
Kenneth.
certificate of participation and completion of LDP program the way the AIOS also does to each and every candidate who has completed all the 3 sessions, the initiation and all. This year will pardon, but henceforth, I feel because this was the starting point in MOS, nobody had done it. And I wanted people to go rather than just 1 and 2. So we said, let's have at least 20, 22. This time, sir said even 40 will do. So we have increased the numbers. So it's a starting phase, but henceforth, I think you try and make it a point to attend all the alumni meet, all the LDP sessions, if, of course, with the permission of the chair, that is the course conductor, if they say they have rooms, see that the alumni also attend. Otherwise, the freshers, of course, have to be given priority first. Right, na, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Piyush wants it.
Just wanted to add a little bit to what Madam was asking. Is it the same repetition kind of different? So my experience was when I would done the AIOS LDP program, I felt that B school was what sir had that the arrangements that were made over here. I think this was the maximum learning on an individual practitioner's basis. Say, for example, how you can flourish in your own practices, how you can kind of become leaders in whatever avenue you are choosing. Obviously, it did start with the initiation at AIOS, but this was the crux. Second, all we had this Pegasus, which my take back home is essentially team building. So that team building part was very well achieved at Pegasus. And then following that, we had the conclusion, which was essentially like a sum up of your individual experiences, which happened at the next All India meeting. Obviously, this being the first MOS one, it's yet to unfold how it's going to proceed further. But I'm sure they'll have fantastic ideas.
Yes. So we have Professor Dr. Ajit Joshi here. Thank you, sir. Only I have a request. We wanted to finish by 11:45 so that Shivanandan sir will come and we'll have sir. I agreed, but that's why I'm requesting. Yeah. No, not to say, because we have promised Shivanandan we will give at 12. That's why 11:45 we wanted to break because I've cut the tea break. We started late. That's why I request that. Do you want to have color mic? Yes.
Without much ado, okay. Since I'm told that there is not a lot of time, without much ado, let me straight away get down to the topic you're going to discuss, personal finance. And people will see I'm a doctor, but not obviously of work at least. I'm a PhD in accounting, and I'm a chartered accountant by qualification. Personal finance actually is and it is something that is very essential for everything. All our words, there will be trade in relation to opportunities. It is hard enough you are longing to amount of money, but I would say the hardest part is to invest. In that case, bow down to the technology. Yeah. It should. Does that help? Yeah. Thank you. So as I was saying, the hardest part is investing it, and why we need to invest it is very simple. Right now, of all times, you know the inflation is going at 6.5 to 7%. It's a huge rate of inflation. Do you realize one thing? What used to cost 100 rupees a year back is going to cost 107 rupees now. So if you're putting your money in a fixed deposit, which gives you somewhere around 4.5%, 5% if it is really good idea, 100 rupees will become only 105, and after taxation, because I'm sure all of you are in 30% bracket, so after taxation, you are left with 103 rupees or something. So even if you are putting your money in an FD, then actually you are losing the money. This is an important thought that I want to begin with. What happens if you are not investment savvy? What happens if you're not having a look at personal finance? What happens is the money is lost. It is not that it doesn't grow, but you actually lose it in a high inflationary economy. You want to do that? No. If not, then we really have to take personal finance seriously. Now, first and foremost, I don't know how many of you are aware, but chartered accountants love disclaimers, right? Our audit report begins by saying, these financial statements were made by the company. We have not made it. We have not done this. We have not done that. We are just opining on it. So giving a disclaimer is in our DNA, so to speak. So let me give you a disclaimer, 2-3 disclaimers. One thing is, we are not going to cover this in 1 hour, 15 minutes, much less in 1 hour. Now, I have been given about 50-55 minutes. So in 50-55 minutes, this is not going to happen. I am just going to give you a trailer of what possibly you can do in personal finance. It will be up to you to follow it up, use Google, use Coursera, use Udemy, use these type of MDPs, and increase your knowledge about this. Because as I'm saying, if you don't invest it, if you don't use it effectively, it's as good as losing it. So that is the first disclaimer. Second disclaimer is, during the course of discussion, I may say, I may opine on various investment avenues. This is my personal opinion. For example, I believe that there is no point in buying a house. I'm going to discuss that in detail, so that time we'll discuss it. But it is my personal opinion. It's no thumb rule. I'm just one of the students of the finance. There is very much a possibility, because in finance we are projecting the future, and you all know very well that it's difficult to project the future. So whatever is expressed here is not a thumb rule. It's not a God-given statement. I'm not claiming it to be. All of them are my opinions. So take it with a pinch of salt. Cross-check it for your own sake. I don't want somebody to say, hey, but you said so we did it and now it's not working. So I'm not saying that it won't work, and I'm going to offer you arguments in favor of my opinion, but it is up to you. It's your money and you have to figure it out. Now, third thing is, my presentation actually was divided in 2 components. One was some basic arithmetic of personal finance, which I wanted to tell you, so that no matter what you're doing, that basic arithmetic will always help you. And that's not opinion, that's a theory, that's a clear-cut established practice. How to calculate or how to establish rates, how to find out whether I'm really making money or losing money. There is some working which I wanted to show. However, given the fact that we are extremely short of time, I'll just quickly mention those ideas. I'll throw the PPT and then I'll share it with you, and then you can decide how to use it best. So suppose if I say Mr. X, salary of Mr. X 5,000 and my salary 70,000 a month. Who is earning better? Right? Mr. X is my father, who used to make 5,000 rupees of salary in 1991. Now who is earning better? Obviously, because 5,000 in 1991 is probably equivalent to 1.5 lakh today. This is called as time value of money. And when do you realize that the time value of, because of the operation of time value of money, the money is losing its value every moment that we are talking. It fetches less than it could have had. And when did it happen? Between 1991 to 2022. When did it happen? Did it happen in 96? Did it happen in 2004? Did it happen in 2010? When did it happen? It's continuously happening. So when I took example of 1991, 2022, you connected with it easily because it's 31 years gap. But even if I take example of 2022 and 2023, and if I say 1,000 rupees, then 2022 in 1,000 rupees and 2023 in 1,000 rupees is not one and the same. And we spoke about inflation just now, right? Inflation is one of the reasons. There are other reasons why the money loses its value continuously. In finance, we have something called continuous compounding, where we assume that the money is losing its value as I am speaking. When I started, the value of money was different. When I'm talking to you, the value of money has changed in our theory. So I can 5,000 rupees with 1 lakh. I cannot say my and my father's combined income is 1,05,000. I cannot say I am earning 95,000 more than my father. I cannot say our average income is 52,500. Do you all agree with me? I cannot make all of these statements because the cash flows at different point of time cannot be compared, cannot be manipulated, cannot be added, cannot be subtracted, cannot be proportion, cannot be found out, they cannot be averaged because they are at different point of time. Their implication, their purchasing power is different. Why I'm saying all of this is, I'm sure all of you get hundreds of calls from various investment consultants. Your friends might be already into investment consultancy. They come to you, they offer you various types of products and you feel lost. Somebody comes and tells you 1 crore rupees. I don't know why it's happening. Somebody, no, phone is there. That's possible. So people come to you all the time because you all are what we in our world, in finance world, we call you as HNIs, high net worth individuals, being successful medical professionals. And I can see quite a young faces. So you are going to be HNIs. You are going to be high net worth individuals because being successful medical professionals, you are going to have good amount of income. All the time people keep on coming to you and telling you 2 crore rupees by the end of 10 years, 5 crore rupees when you retire, and so on and so forth. And probably you may feel lost, probably you may get sold out to this idea. Oh, 2 crore, wonderful. Remember, 5,000 of my father and 1 lakh of mine is not same. And therefore, what we have to do in case of every such argument is bring down all the cash flows to one particular point of time and then compare them. Then ask yourself, am I investing more? Am I investing less? Am I getting good returns? And so on and so forth. And how do we do that is one part of our presentation, which, as I said, I'm going to cover very fast. But you can work on this theory later on, and you probably will learn a lot better. So this is part of what we were discussing. It's open for you. You can see that. This is something we studied in our school, right? And being all highly academically accomplished people, I'm sure that you remember this, right? Though I'm sure maths was not part of PCB combination, probably. This was like grade 5 or grade 6. Everybody remembers that, right? But I have a question for you. We said 1,000 rupees today become 1,100 rupees after 1 year, right? Because of 10% increase. The question is, what if I am receiving 1,000 rupees at the end of 1 year? Then I have to reverse the cycle. The same formula of grade 5. Now I have reversed that formula. Am I making sense to you? Now, 1/1 plus interest rate raised to number of years is popularly known as present value factor, or PVF. So if I get any figure in future, I can multiply it by PVF and I can arrive at the present value of that sum. So somebody comes and tells you 10 years down the line, you're going to get 2 crore. You say, fine, no problem. I'll use PVF and I'll find out what is the value of 2 crore today. So you have to assume one rate. Let's say inflation is 7%. You want to beat the inflation. You want your money to grow. So you're saying 7 plus 3% at least return I want. So 10% is my benchmark rate. So at 10%, if I discount this, then I will know what is 2 crore worth today. Am I making sense to you? Wonderful. Right? All of this is simply the same thing which I'm talking about. So if somebody comes to you with an investment proposition, you can discount all of that and find out what's the present value of that proposition. So whatever, suppose if somebody is telling you every year you have to contribute 10 lakh rupees, so you contribute it for 10 years, you are contributing 1 crore, but after 10 years, we are going to give you 1.5 crore. So you believe, oh wow, 50 lakh rupees advantage, 50 lakh rupees return. No, it is like saying that I earn 95,000 more than my father because I am earning 1 lakh today and he was earning 5,000 in 1991. So this statement is wrong. I have to discount all the 10 lakh rupees, bring it to the present value. I have to discount that 1.5 crore and bring it to the present value. And then I want to see whether there is really some return or not. Only then I will understand whether I'm getting any benefit. Now, only thing is, if I have 10 lakh, which is a constant sum, right? It's called uniform cash flow. Same amount I'm investing every year. So I have a kind of a shortcut that I know every year if I'm investing 10 lakh and every year's 10 lakh I want to bring down to present value. So I have to discount it. I have to apply present value factor of first year, present value factor of second year, third year. Are you guys getting me? Okay, I'll take a pause at some point of time and I'll give you a chance to ask a question, right? So if you are investing 10 lakh every year, then every year 10 lakh you have to bring it down to the present value. So 10 lakh into present value 1, present value 2, present value 3. So I can club together all the present values and that's called present value factor annuity. I hope you're seeing it here. No need to copy down. The presentation would be given to everybody. No problem. Don't waste your time in copying down. You can see. Make sense? So I have present value factor annuity, which is sum total of all present value factors. So this is how I can do it. I can do it by a shortcut. Instead of discounting every year's 10 lakhs, I can discount 10 lakh into, I can add all the present value factors and that total I can use to multiply with the 10 lakh. And I will know what is the amount that I am actually investing going by the rate of 10%, if that is your benchmark rate. Now, this is the theory that we have discussed. Have a look at it. You know, one great advantage, one disadvantage is I have to wrap this up in 50 minutes. What I would have loved to take at least 2 to 3 hours with a break, but I am told to wrap it up in 50 minutes. That's a disadvantage. One great advantage is I have far more intelligent crowd than I usually have. People who are accustomed to comprehend complex things fast, right? So just have a look at it and tell me if it makes sense to you. If it does, then I'll go further. Right? This is what we have been discussing. So if I take a very simple case study, 1 lakh each year for, say somebody has come up with an insurance plan, that plan is going to give you 1 lakh each year for 15 years. How much will you be interested to invest today if the return that you are expecting is 7.15%? Right? Insurance, or instead of insurance, call it FD, call it any damn thing you want. But we have two cash flow. You know, in finance, I always tell the students as well that forget all the meat and juice and everything and focus on what is the figure. So there are two figures very clearly that we have 1 lakh rupees inflow constantly for 15 years. And we want the rate of 7.15%. Right? Very simple. So I will say PVFA 7.15%, 15 years. Now, how to calculate that? Again, due to want of time, I'm not going into detail of that, but it's not difficult. You can calculate on Excel. You can calculate it on calculator also. It's very simple, the calculation. Right? So if I do that calculation, I arrive at the figure of 9,02,230 rupees. If I invest 9,02,230 rupees today, and I'm getting 1 lakh rupees every year for 15 years, then I'm happy because I am getting the rate of 17.15%. That is how you are supposed to read it. By the way, this type of calculations are enormously important because, as I'm given to understand, ophthalmology requires a lot of complicated and expensive machinery, right? And most of the time, those machineries work on EMI basis, where you pay a fixed sum to the company, right? Maybe doing this computation, maybe, of course, I'm not making a confident statement, but maybe you will come to a realization that I'm actually ending up paying very high rate of interest, which if I go for a bank loan or if I go for a personal loan or some such sort of thing, then probably I'll get it at lower rate. This is a possibility. I'm not saying this is what is happening. But for you, because for you, there is a lot of importance of time value of money because your business, your profession, your profession is essentially capital consuming profession, right? You require very expensive machinery over constantly, and by the time you are done paying its EMI, that machinery is going to become obsolete and you require new ones, so the EMI continues. Am I right? I mean, I tried and cross-checked with an opthal friend of mine. So this was his help. For you, this calculation makes enormous more sense, and for you, it's very, very important than anybody else. Anybody else as in than those professions like dermatologist, for example, capital investment, correct? So as opposed to some other profession, for you, this is very important. Another small case study. Now, Salman has put his child in grade 1 right now, and he wants fees of 15,000 each year to pay. With some figures can change, right? I hope you understand the spirit of case study, correct? And at the end of 10th year, when the child will go into college, he wants to have 100,000 rupees in his hand so that he can arrange for the college admission. This is a very real life case study, right? All of us come across these type of scenarios. And again, as I said, I can see quite a young population here, which will have to deal with these issues maybe in another 4, 5, 10 years, right? So how do we deal with this? We know that we want outflows of 15,000 every year for coming 10 years. And at the end of 10th year, I want to have 1 lakh rupees. Correct? So I say, and I hope you are not somewhat afraid of this whole calculation. Let's look at it step by step. I say there are 2 cash flows. One is 15,000 every year, for which I will apply uniform cash flow wala formula, where I will add present value factors of all the years between now and 10th year. And my desired rate is 6.35%. So if I do that, then I arrive at the figure of 1,16,698. Second cash flow is 1 lakh rupees, which is only one time required. Right? One cash flow is uniform cash flow every year. So it's an annuity principle. One cash flow is required only once. So I will consider 10th year. I will draw your attention to this. Here I say 10 years because this is happening every year. And here I say 10th year because it's happening only once at the end of 10th. And that is how I know if let's say a bank is offering me rate of 6.35%, then I can go with 1,70,728 rupees today. And I can make this. You know, I would have loved to consider a more complicated case study, which will be more realistic, but we don't have time again. So I hope I'm at least able to give you some flavor of it, right? Some trailer at least. Now, this part was about the computational part. As I said, the rate is the most important, the most crucial concept in finance, which is going to be enormously helpful in your personal finance goals, in your business or professional practice. So it's my humble request, give it some more time and study it a little more in detail. And you will find that in your personal examples, there are a lot of situations where you may benefit out of it. For example, in fact, we will cover it at the time of insurance. Yeah. So you had some questions, sir. Excuse me. You had some question. Yeah. Which one? It was not term insurance, it was endowment insurance. And we are going to discuss term and endowment, so you will be more clarified that time, okay? Right, annuity plan, yes, that's actually endowment insurance. In term insurance, you don't get anything. So I'll be discussing it. It's a very important point. So this is just, does money grow on trees? Since the childhood, we have been told, paisa kya jhaad pe ugta hai, right? Everybody tells us, no, money doesn't grow on tree. I say, yes, money grows on tree, provided see, mangoes can't grow on a banana tree, right? So if you want to grow money, you have to sow money. You have to invest money, then money will grow on the tree. And I always tell my clients or my participants in such cases, treat personal investment like your garden, home garden. Everybody or many of you might have a balcony garden or a terrace garden, right? Some of you might have it. So you don't do that all your time, right? All 24/7, all the days of the week. Are you working in your terrace garden? Those of you who have it? No. But you do allocate some committed regular time to that terrace garden. Am I right? You do have some tools purchased for it. You do have some investment made in it of your mind, of your time. That's exactly what personal finance seeks from you. Don't leave it to a consultant, even to a chartered accountant, though he might be my fellow professional. Don't leave it to them. Invest, buy some tools to understand personal finance. Spare some time, whether you have terrace garden or not, whether you have balcony garden or not, but spare some time on this balcony garden, on this personal finance. I'm sure when I go to doctor, coincidentally, I have a lot of doctors whom I always interact with, my clients and all that. So whenever I go to them as a patient, they always tell me that be regular, right? The same applies to personal finance. So when I start discussing their finance, I tell them be regular, correct? So please know how to sow, nurture and reap. Then probably you can make the money grow on the tree. Am I making sense? This is a little bit. Now, where do we start? Where do we start? The very first thing to start is to know how much money do I have to invest, right? The very first thing you have to do is know your money. I don't know, and probably we are probably of one of those last generations. So Sharad sir might be knowing very well that once upon a time there was this practice of keeping your expenses in a notebook, likh ke rakhte the, right? And bills. Nowadays we pay the bills very fast on Google and everything. I don't know how many of you really keep a track of your personal expenses. Professional expenses, okay, you have to file return. Many of you will be in audit range and all that. Your chartered accountant maintains them. That's all fine. But the very first thing you have to do, at least for 3 to 4 months, maintain your expenditure and maintain it category wise. Just don't make a list of it. Maintain it category wise. Here is one example. Here is one example that you can see. So what I've done is I've maintained the expenditure on the basis of category, like we need grocery, correct? Now, communication and entertainment will include all mobile bill, OTT platforms, telephone, internet, Wi-Fi, so on and so forth. Travel and tour, I have kept it constant because I don't travel and tour every month. But let's say if I'm spending 6 lakh rupees in a year, so it's as good as spending 50,000 every month, right? So I'm keeping some money aside for travel and tour. Same logic goes for child's expense. Every month I don't pay the fees. Probably I pay them once, correct? But on an average, let's say I'm spending 12 lakh rupees for my child. So I'm keeping it constant. Same logic goes for medical provision. I'm not going to be falling sick every month. So these 3 expenses I have kept on the basis of annual figure divided by 12. And habits, right? We do have, and I'm sure you understand, good quality alcohol. Those of you who like to smoke cigarettes, I hope there is no tobacco. I hope all of these things are bad, so the doctors tell me. I'm not sure about them, but I know that there are a lot of my doctor friends with whom I enjoy these things. So I've deliberately included that. We have to keep track of that, right? Then there are certain luxuries of life. It might be going to a restaurant, going to a very fine and dine restaurant. It might be going for a one-day resort, spa, beauty salons, and so on and so forth. Luxuries, tax 20%. Now taxation again is a broad area. I'm not going in depth of that. And this is a, do you all agree? Do you all understand this first of all? Do you feel it's somewhat closer to what might be actually? Of course, everybody's income, again, looking at the age group, some people might be still in 5 or 6 lakh range. Some people might have gone to 40 or 50 lakh range, correct? So I'm not going into depth of that. However, this does not make sense. So I created a bar diagram out of it. Now, when I look at it, I realize that, okay, fine, a major chunk is going for children expenses. Yes, Indians do that, correct? Indians are possessed about defining the career of their children. So they make financial provisions, they go to schools, this, that, etc. So you can hardly play with this amount. If at all I want to save, because at the end of the month, I realize that I am saving somewhere around 2 lakh, 2 to 2.5 lakh is the range of saving. But my goals, my targets tell me that I want 3 lakh, I want more. So one way is, of course, increasing your practice, but that's not in my purview. So I'm not discussing that. So when I took from here, I completely ignored the professional receipts and business expenses, practice expenses, because that's not in my control, right? I ignored the taxation, that's again not in my control. I ignored the savings, that's okay, because I want to know what all are these expenses. And then when I looked at it, I said, okay, fine, where can I cut down? Probably I'm spending a little too much on travel and tour. Maybe 6 lakh in a year is little too much. I can come down to 3 or 4 lakh. A Maldives trip is possible in 3 to 4 lakhs. So if I'm doing a Maldives, then I will drop any other in India tour to save a couple of lakhs there. You know, that kind of economizing can happen. Now, I don't know, whatever is your target, your figures, I'm just taking an example. Or the money spent on habits is a little too much, right? I'm not settling if it is not a 12-year-old. So maybe I can cut down a little bit on that. Incidentally, that might even be good for my health, correct? So likewise, this is just an example, but likewise, the very first thing that you need to do is to know your expenditure, categorize it, and ask yourself, which of these categories can I save if I believe that my present savings are not enough? On the face of it, it's a very simple exercise, but my experience with my clients tell me that most of the people don't do it. Try doing it consciously for 3 to 4 months. I'm willing to bet my money that you will find there are a lot of areas where saving is possible, where the expenditure is unnecessary. Now let's go to some investment avenues. And again, we all are Indians, and being Indians, ek bangla bane nyara is our dream, right? House is always, we are possessed by the concept of buying house. And when we finally achieve the dream of buying house, then we want to buy another one. And when we are done with that as well, we want to sell the older one and go for newer one. Our whole mental periphery is occupied by the house concept. So here are some thoughts there. Here are some thoughts for you. Stay and investment are separate things. Why? Where I want to stay, do I want to invest my money there? Typically, to give a very, very relevant example, Mumbai. Right now, the prices of real estate, now here onwards, my first disclaimer comes into picture. These are my opinions. If you don't agree, you can give up on that. That's your choice. I'm telling you my opinions. The prices of real estate in Mumbai have touched really the uppermost limit. Even a very reasonable Dahisar or such area, 1 BHK properties for 1 crore. 1 crore is now the benchmark of property in Mumbai, unless you are going for Jhopadis and Charles and stuff like that, which I'm sure none of you want to go. Are we really expecting these prices to double and triple? This happened between 2000 to 2015. Between 2000 and 2015, the prices skyrocketed. I remember my father purchased something in 2002 for 12 lakhs. By 2015, it was for 1 crore, 8 times. But since 2015 till now, it's at 1 crore. Am I making sense? Does it match to your experiences, right? So my question is, I want to be in Mumbai. I don't know how many of you come from Mumbai. Okay, very few people, no problem. So check this calculation in your own town, in your own city. Is there really scope for growth when I may buy a house and stay in it? But if there is no scope for growth of the investment, then I may buy the house somewhere else for the investment purpose, and I may stay rented in India. And it's good that we have crowd from different towns. Everybody check it out later on. You will find quarter to 3 to 3.25% is the return on property as far as rent goes. The rent is usually quarter to 3 to 3.25%. If you're really very lucky, you will get 3.25%. And as a tenant, if you are really lucky, then you will get 2.75%. But whatever, if you take an example of a property, let's say a good property in Nasik. Anybody from Nasik by chance? Nobody. Okay. So a good property in Nasik, it's somewhere around 1 crore, right? A good 2 to 3 BHK in a decent, very well-known areas of Nasik is about 1 crore. How much will it fetch in rent? It will fetch, you will find somewhere around 3 lakh rupees per annum. And this benchmark, to the best of my knowledge, is universally applicable in India. What it tells me is I can invest only 2.5% to 3% to live in a property which is very good in quality. See, when I am defining my stay, the stay should be based on convenience. Where is my practice? Where are my clients? Where is my hospital attachment? How can I be best access to all of those things? You know, I remember I had a breakfast with Sam Pitroda. Sam Pitroda holds about 40 to 50 different patents. You know, telecom revolution guy, right? And Sam was telling us that what is smart city? Where your place of residence and your place of work is within 25 minutes traveling distance. So if I want to define where I want to stay maybe rental basis, but I want to be comfortable. I want to be easily accessed, convenient. I'll do it on rental basis. I don't have to own that property. And I can own some other property somewhere else where I know there are good investment prospects. See, Mumbai is largely a dying city, but there is a good growth prospects in B towns. In Nasik, in Satara, in Kolhapur, in Aurangabad, in Nagpur, though the prices have crashed right now, big time, but there is a good scope for growth. So maybe, and since you belong to that particular town, you have excellent clients, you know a lot of people, so you will know which is a good area for investment purpose. Who had said that you have to stay the same place which you own? This is a thought that I want to give you. Think about it. So investment grows at a particular rate, which may not happen if I'm choosing the place of stay to be place of investment. Instead, it's the best thing, buy for investment and rent for stay. Again, remember my disclaimer, this is my advice. You have to figure out it's possible in some cases that even the place where I'm staying also grows well in terms of investment. That's very much possible. Think about it, figure it out. But in my opinion, Mumbai, or even in case of B towns, the core areas of B town, like if I'm talking about Pune, then the core old city of Pune or the first expansion of Pune, which happened in Kothurud, so these areas are largely saturated, given the fact that newer suburbs are developing. So if staying there is your professional compulsion, you can do on the basis of rent, invest somewhere else. Now we come to insurance. Okay, I still have 17 minutes, so I think I'll be able to finish and give you 5 minutes for question and answer as well. What is insurance? Okay, let me make a statement. Insurance is investment. How many of you agree with this? Right? Right? You have a car, sir? Do you have a car or any vehicle? Which vehicle do you have? Car or bike? Car. Do you pay insurance premium? When do you propose to scrap the car? 3 years from now, 5 years? What's your plan? 3 years? So how much will you get back as insurance? When you scrap the car, why don't you get back the insurance? When I die, I'm supposed to get back a fat sum of insurance, right? But I'm also supposed to get all sorts of investment returns, na? So what happened with your car insurance investment? Insurance is not an investment. Please write it in bold letters somewhere on your mind. Anybody who tells you that insurance is investment is cheating you. And I'm making this statement very responsibly. I made this statement in front of IRDA director as well, and he didn't challenge me on that. endowment insurance, in my opinion, is the biggest legal fraud perpetrated by insurance companies on the innocent policyholders. Is a responsible statement I'm making. I know this is getting recorded. I'm not worried. I'm challenging the companies to sue me. Sir, we pay insurance because khuda na khasta, if you meet an accident, then you should be your car should be compensated, right? Your car should be repaired and all that. Similarly, we pay insurance because in case we suffer unforeseen event, then we should be compensated for it. Okay, associated question. Sir, you were keen on insurance, Mr. You were keen on insurance. I'm discussing that. So I'm just reminding you, it's fine. If you have something important going on, I have no problem. I'm just telling you because you were asking me about that. The principal goal of my insurance should be good retirement benefits. Do you all agree with me? No. If you need insurance money at retirement, then what the hell have you done for those 30 years of practice? What is the age group when I need insurance most? 30 to 40. Not when I retire. Because if I have practiced, you all have practiced or worked or whatever for 30 years, then you must have built good amount of assets which you can fall upon if there is a problem. You will have some sort of house, some investment, some loose cash, maybe some land, something you will have at the age of 60. And you will have grown-up kids who can take care of themselves. But it is between the age group of 30 to 40 when you need insurance most highest requirement. A good wedding gift. Remember that insurance is a cost against which you get a service. The service is if unforeseen contingency, calamity hits you, then you are compensated for that. That's lesson number 1. I think now this is not working. Hello. Okay. Abhi nothing is working. Yeah. When do we need it most? Started. We discussed that, right? We need it most in the age group of 30 to 40. So those of youngsters sitting in front of me, if you don't have insurance, go get it tomorrow. And by the way, I'm not an insurance selling agent. No, there are a lot of chartered accountants who have that practice on the side where they also deal with insurance. I don't do that. And to discuss what you were saying, when you get returns at some point of time, it's called endowment insurance. When you don't get any returns except for the cover, it's called term insurance. Right? ULIP, SIP, they might be good investments. They should not be for insurance purpose. So I sometimes say that insurance wants to give you want cover against death, you want performance bonus, you want annuity, every year you want cash flow, you want lump sum benefits, you want all of this from insurance company. And you expect that they are not going to give it or they are not going to get better margins in that. Maybe you also want birthday gift from insurance company. It's not going to happen. It's not an investment. It's a cost. Go for term plan, especially those in the age group of 30 to 40. Get it tomorrow. It's very, very important. Yeah, you have the question. Yeah, so I'll tell you, I'll answer your question. I wanted to, again, because of short of time, I want to avoid that, but I'll answer it in 2.5 minutes. Take up any endowment plan where they are assuring you all these returns. Look at the premium that they are offering. Okay. Now ask them, if I want same cover, how much is the premium of term insurance? Correct? So suppose if somebody is offering you cover of 25 lakhs, and in endowment plan, you are supposed to invest 1 lakh rupees per year. So ask the same person, if 25 lakh ka agar mujhe term plan liya, so what's going to be the premium? So premium will be somewhere around 20-25,000. Now the differing 75,000, invest in what is known as risk-free investment like PPF. It's a government. So until Sri Lanka happens in India, you are going to get paid on PPF, right? You will find you get better returns than what you are getting under that endowment plan. In our language, we call it replicating the portfolio. So if you replicate the portfolio of endowment plan, 100%, because I have done this as a case study on live examples, 100% you will get better in the replicated portfolio, where you go for term insurance, and then you will realize that for 30,000, you will probably get cover of 50 lakhs. So your cover goes up, and for 70,000, you will get better returns than the endowment plan was offering. And for that, you need to understand the rate working, which we did in the beginning. Right, everybody? We all heard the famous story of hare and tortoise, right? The hare runs fast and the tortoise goes slow, and so on and so forth. In my opinion, when we talk of personal finance, there is no competition. We need hare as well as tortoise. So equity and mutual fund is typically hare, which runs very fast, but which also sleeps at time. So I always suggest have some tortoise investments. I have coined this phrase called tortoise investment. So have some tortoise investments in your portfolio so that they will grow at a very, very small, very steady pace, but they will grow. They will reach the destination like the tortoise in the story. It's very much possible that your hare investment, which is your equity and mutual funds, on the day when you need them most, are sleeping under some tree. So better go for tortoise investments as well. So I'm not saying don't entirely give up on equity. I'm just saying have a good combination. And so what are the tortoise investments? Fixed deposit, very simple, but one very important thing. Somebody comes to you, your old friend, you're together in school, you went to science, that guy went to commerce, went on to do MCom, probably chartered accountant, went into some bank, came to you and told you, look here, this Matunga Credit Cooperative is offering 1% extra interest. And then your simple arithmetic tells you I have 10 lakh rupees to invest. 1% be 10,000 ho jata hai. So at least 3 hotel bills I can pay. So why not go into Matunga Credit Cooperative Society instead of State Bank of India? And so you invest. Is it a good idea? Yes. Provided you keep the proportion low. Why things like Punjab National Bank, Punjab Maharashtra PMC, right? Punjab Maharashtra Cooperative Bank, you know, it went bust. And so many other banks, CKP Bank, this bank, that bank, so many banks. Typically, smaller cooperative banks offer you higher rates, which you can go for, but some amount. I know people who have invested lifetime savings in PMC. That's stupidity. So credit cooperatives, small banks, you can put your money, but small amount of money, 10-15%. Larger fixed deposit should go into either nationalized banks or private banks. Remember, private banks have a lot of hidden charges. So it may so happen, for example, in case of home loan, the best scheme is provided by State Bank of India, which is known as Max Gain scheme. No other bank offers that. And that's way better than any other loan scheme that you can get. Again, due to want of time, I'm not going to discuss it in detail. I am almost running out of time. Little bit of gold every month, jeweler chit fund plans is not bad idea. Just that don't, you know, the oldest statement in personal finance, which I'm sure everybody has heard, don't put all the eggs in one basket, right? So don't invest, but chota investment, there is no harm in doing with all of this. It gives you decent returns, no problem. Remember, in case of investment, like in case of alcohol and nicotine and other substances, investment is an addictive thing. You go to share market, you make 5,000 rupees in 3 days, you pat on your back, before you know what's happening, you start putting all the money in share market and then you are wiped off on a single day. Investment should never become addiction. Just like alcohol and nicotine, you should be able to have it in very small proportions in a controlled environment. Unlike alcohol and nicotine, it's not good to give up on it entirely. Right? National saving certificates, PPF, very good. Best tax saving investment is PPF because it is completely exempt. Its interest is exempt. By the way, yeah. For depends on what savings are you making, where in which bracket you are. And another interesting thing is on Google or everywhere else you will read, you know, if your age is so and so, then your risk profile is so and so. That is stupid. I have two clients. One client is based out of Villeparle, whose father has 3 flats in Villeparle and ancestral property in Pune. I have another guy who came just now or just 3 years back. He came from Beat and started his practice. Both are of same age. Their risk appetite cannot be same. So your investment is defined by your personal background, what sort of inherited money you are getting, what are your goals, and so on and so forth. So there is no standardized answer for these questions, right? And correct. So tortoise investments are good, slow, steady, but not a lot. Again, these weights are just as an example. That's not necessary. You should go for that. But typically, I hope you know what is blue chip, mid-size, and small. Nowadays, everybody is savvy. Everybody knows these terms, right? So blue chip, you know, mid-size, you know, small cap, you know. These are the study parameters. Make an Excel file, make a study parameter, give marks to it, arrive at something which is the best possible investment, right? I have four blue chips in my list. I have these 3 parameters. I will give marks. I will see which is best for me. Can be done. It's garden. Remember, every Saturday, Sunday, you are going to spend some time, right? Mid-size, you have to do some amount of financial study or technical analysis, which we don't have time to cover at all. Tip, hunch, these things are good. I'm not denying that. But don't make yourself habit. See, remember, no broker will give you 100% honest tip because he has his own business to look at. Right? I mean, exceptions aside, there might be some saintly brokers who are actually giving you correct tip every time. But otherwise, they don't. Same goes financial planners, CFPs, good people, but most of the times they don't charge you, right? See, financial planners charge you, correct? So how are they making their bread and butter? They are making it through mutual fund companies. They are bound to sell you what mutual fund companies want them to sell because their money is coming from those companies. It's their business as well. So if they are not charging you, see, anything that you get for free has to be cross-checked twice, right? Again, I think if I want to give some time for discussion, I have discussed all of this. So this is a kind of summary. I just want to discuss this second last point. There is an investment, the world is changing and the world is changing very fast, right? There are so many new technologies, so much new happening. I'm sure in your chosen field also. So staying updated is very, very important. As you know, I'm not infringing into your professional things, but this is applicable to everybody. Whether you are an opthal or whether you are an engineer or whether you are a chartered accountant, reinventing yourself or doing new things is essential for everybody. So invest some money in yourself. It might be academic coursework. It might be going to some other place and having an experience. It might be in 100 different ways. I don't know how you can invest in yourself. You may, for that matter, you may say that I want to spend X amount of money and time and learn Bharatnatyam because that's going to give me some relief from my otherwise busy day. That's possible. So investment in yourself can come in 1,000 different ways. You have to think on that. At least one good thing is, as medical professionals, I know that you guys are really, really learning forever in your life. I remember there was one client of mine, one of the top 5 cardiovasculars in India, left practice, went to Australia at the age of 45 and studied for 8 months course. I said, how the hell? I mean, you're running a good practice. Your child is in 8. No, I wanted to learn this. So he went to Australia and spent 10 months on some $300 Australian stipend or something. So I have great regard for you guys. I know you want to learn all the time. But just keep that up. Invest in that as well. Right? And I think rest of everything I have already covered. I don't have time to cover this, so I'm so sorry. I will just run by the presentation. Presumptive taxation is very, very important for those of you who have not yet crossed 40 lakh rupees of annual gross receipts. So if possible, go on Google and check out 44 ADA, section 44 ADA, and how it works. Very, very important for those of you who haven't crossed 40 lakh rupees of annual gross receipts. But we don't have time to cover this, so I think I'll just let it go. Yes, and I think I have completed the presentation. Now it's up to you whether you want to have some questions or whatever. I am available. I'm all yours. Thank you. Any questions? Fast, maybe a couple of them. No. Okay. Yes. Asmita, no, it's not same. I have not asked you to study the finance in depth and detail. That your CA or your financial planner will do. However, and I understand ophthalmology is a very, very highly specialized field, but don't doctors expect that the patient should know at least basic of their health? Am I right? Do the doctors expect this? Being a very highly specialized field, but think of yourself as an MBBS and answer me. If you are a general practitioner, will you expect me to know a little bit of my health? That the potato will add carbs to my body and smoking will damage me and cause a cancer in long term. Should I know these things, or should I leave that as well on you? Exactly. So these things are basics. You should know it to the extent of understanding what your CA and what your financial planner is doing. You're getting me? So, and unfortunately, another important thing is, unfortunately, in India, we haven't been able to develop a community of or a profession of financial consultants as well developed as doctors are. Right? Unfortunately, and there are various reasons. I won't go into that. But if I have a problem with my eyes, I know whom to go to. But I'm never sure about my financial planner because, as I said, I'm not paying fees to that planner. He's getting paid from the mutual fund company. There are very, very few financial planners who charge you for consultancy. So consequently, you don't have a well-developed professional community of financial planners. That's another reason why you have to know it. Yeah. Excuse me. That's why I call it hair investment. That's why I call it hair investment. Khargosh. In long run, I have not come across single equity retail investor who has made more than 12%. And even those who invested since 1995. You know, anybody who comes to sell you mutual funds will give you one statistics that those who invested 5,000 rupees in Infosys in 1992 have made 2.5 crore today. It's absolutely bang on correct statistic. Ask that guy, show me the retail investors who have actually done this. And you won't get a single one. That's because as a retail investor, we are tempted to sell. We sell at a long point of time. We buy at a wrong point of time. So equity, one should have only a certain proportion of total savings. That too, if you're willing to give time. And if you are willing to understand things about it. Otherwise, I mean, it will always give you between 10 to 12%. Of course, 100%. You know, for one thing, this is very irregular to answer without knowing the personal background. Secondly, yes, SIP is a good choice provided you study. You know, people believe SIPs and mutual funds because somebody else is investing the money is going to be the safe option. No, but that somebody else also has to be studied. So you have to look at it. Which fund is offering good return over long term? If you have good time to study, then go for lump sum investments than SIP. If you don't have time to study, if you have time to study only once or very less, then go for SIPs because SIP once and for all you know. So these are very personalized things. Yeah. No. Even lump sum, it's see, Mr. Doctor. Sorry, your name? Dr. Bansal, the problem in all of this is that there are no standardized answers for this. I have to know which SIP you're talking about. I have to go through that SIP. There are 1,000 SIPs in market. So I have to check whether that SIP is giving good return. It depends on what sort of money and when are you getting it. How are you, what is the other investment that you are making? So there is no standardized answer for this. But no, and then the funny thing is, what is a dip? You never know as an individual investors, you never understand. Exactly. So that is what I am saying. That is why I am saying that unless and until I study, I cannot answer this question. I cannot answer this question unless and until you put your time to study. You cannot have a blanket answer for that. Is it a dip right now? Maybe it is, maybe it is not. Yeah. Okay. Okay. No, you can ask them. No, they have to tell you. Dr. Naina, it can be even less than 1%. That is point number one. Point number two is, if you read the document, it is specified there. It is not secret. So you have to read small print. That is what I am saying, that Dr. Naina, if you leave it blindly to that person, yes. You have to study that first and then take the call. Because if somebody else, somebody is offering you one mutual fund is offering, I am selling you the fund, right? Somebody is offering me 0.5%. Now somebody comes along and says, I am offering you 0.7%. Then I tell my client, shift from yahan se wahan. So, and that is why I answered Dr. Asmita saying that we don't have a professional financial planner community. How much do you pay? How much do you pay to your financial planner? How much do you pay him? So where will he make money from? Yeah, so I hope I have been able to explain. Yeah. Else, I think I am getting signals of finishing it off, or yeah. So thank you very much, guys. Thanks a lot.
Anyhow, so I wanted to introduce Shivanandan, and there's a different. You're not seen this, sir. No, only thing I wanted to tell him. Yes. No, not 1 hour. Anyway, so every day I showed this slide already, but I'm showing you that every day I thank Mata Guru, Mitra Deva, I learned from that movie. So I always, Mr. Shivanandan is everything for me. And I think his name, I terrorize everybody in the adityajyot. So this is a saying from Swami Vivekananda, which fits my friend. Our duty is to encourage everyone in his struggle to live up to his own highest idea and strive at the same time to make the ideal as near as possible to the truth. And that's what every day pushes me. And that's why anything I do, I think I discuss with him. What is he? And this is with my grandmother. And that's when he was the Commissioner of Police as well as the Director General of Police. When he took over, he came and he met all my staff. So he worked as a professor in the University of Madras and one of the India's most well-known and highly regarded IPS officer. He retired as the Director General of Police in 2011 and served as Commissioner of Police for Mumbai, Thane, Nagpur for 6 years and 6 years in Mumbai Crime Branch. He is credited with having broken the back of the underworld that was at its peak in the late 90s. Worked in Intelligence Bureau and CBI for 11 years and 3 years as Deputy Director, Inspector General of Naxal-infested Nagpur area. So he also knows Dr. Prashant Agnihotri very well. He helped in controlling Naxal menace to a great extent. And also that time he helped a family grandchild of a retinoblastoma, Dr. Santosh treated. And he's an adult now. So he knows Santosh also. And initiated a non-profit and hunger relief organization, Mumbai Roti Bank, in 2018 to eliminate hunger and malnutrition from the country and has served almost 10 million since Roti Bank chapters in Nagpur, Hyderabad, Coimbatore, Ahmedabad, Chennai, and Cuttack during the lockdown. All is a 1976 IPS batch and co-authored a national bestseller, Chanakya 7 Secrets of Leadership, which is available in the all the bookshops, and decorated with Distinguished Service Medal, Meritorious Services Medal, and Internal Security Medal. So again, he is a great support, and he was the chairman of the adityajyot Foundation for Twinkling Lights. Because of the conflict of interest, wherever he is there, he could not get the donations, and he is supporting from there. And he also started the first mobile project in the world of taking the fundus camera in the mobile camera in 2014, where he made my grandmother inaugurate. My father also was alive, and the previous CEO, Ravichandran, is there. And we have Sushil Jurachka along with myself, where Sir is the managing trustee and runs the Roti Bank. He's collected a few crores and serving 3 people because his inspiration is Mahakavi Bharati, who said, if one person goes hungry a day, he'll go. Thank you. Over to you, sir. I made it short, sir. Sir, you have to put the microphone on. On. Okay.
Hello. It works. Hello. So, good afternoon, all the ladies and gentlemen, and the doctors and all others who are non-doctors also. Thank you so much, Natarajan, for asking me to speak to this elite audience. I've been talking to all these audiences all the time from 2000, 2005, 2007. So that makes 15 years of non-stop lecturing from my side. So bear with me if you have heard me earlier. And so what I'm going to talk today is how do you excel in whatever you do, and also speak as to dar dar ke marna hai aur mar mar ke jeena hai, because you all are working as to defensive practice all the time. Whether this patient is going to prosecute me, that is the main problem. So most of the people are busy building records against the patient, and the patients are all busy building record against the doctor. So the patient has no belief, that this trust that this doctor is going to cure me. And when things go wrong, how do I prosecute him and gain money? So gaining eyesight is not the main goal of that patient. Gaining money by prosecuting you and proving that you didn't follow the steps and you failed is what is his goal. Now, my question is, if I come with the basic distrust in the doctor and if I'm planning to prosecute him, then how am I going to get cured? So in my family, whenever we went to Dr. Natarajan or anybody, we just went there. They did whatever it is. We just got up and said, thank you. And it was all right. Like my daughter came from London, went for LASIK surgery, surgery, went there, 5-minute job done, thank you, turned out everything is perfect. Because of the trust, correct, no? And the doctors also should trust that this patient is not going to file a case against me. So that is another 50% trust. So that is how it should be done. So I have chosen to speak on that. So when we talk of fearless, we can see fearless against all odds. You have to be fearless against all odds. I told you, kitna daba marenge? Hai na? Cyrus Mistry, you heard of Cyrus Mistry? How many times did he die? Only once. Only once. All of us will die only once. But then why are we dying daily? That's my point. If you have time just now, please check a website which I will cite, which I will show in a slide later, called www.phobialist.com. That's the homework, you know. You can see now, phobialist.com. You have 590 varieties of phobia we suffer from. I don't know how many the doctors, particularly ophthalmologists, will be suffering from. I wonder. You find out and tell me by the end of my presentation. Please open your. I permit you to open your thing. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. देखिए Z तक कितना है? 590 varieties of fear. So my question is, can you suffer from a phobia about the patients who are coming to you? If the patients are not coming to you, then what kind of a doctor are you? Okay. So that's it. I'm coming back to my list of phobias, and each one of us would have at least 30-40 phobias. So be fearless, go into the field and find out how many phobias you are suffering from and how do you come out of that so that you can lead a fearless life. So how do you come out of your fear? By running towards the fear. Like Zindagi Na Milegi Tubara, if you have seen, that Hrithik Roshan has a fear of heights. So he jumps from the hilltop multiple times into the sea and comes again, and he comes out of it. So if there is a fear, how do you get out of that? By going there, not running away. Like if a dog is going to chase you, if you run away from the dog, what happens? The dog is going to chase you endlessly because it is a play for that. Whereas for you, it is fear. Whereas if you run towards the dog, and the dog will start running against you, or at least it will stand still, you stand still, and then you can see. So this is the example of Chhatrapati Maharaj. These are all the fearless people whom we have seen. Since the time is less, I'm not speaking on, these are all the guys. You want to see once again? You have seen, these are all the people who worked against all the odds. See, for example, this guy was a corporal in the German army. Corporal means a sipai. He was a sipai in the German army. He becomes the Führer, the emperor of whatever he was overseeing. That's the kind of guy he was. So the next one is also that Alexander the Great. Then the Julius Caesar. I showed you the Julius Caesar's picture. He was also a sipai in the Roman army, and he became emperor of the Roman Empire. That was the biggest at the time in the world, Roman Empire. How did they do? By winning fear, by running away, by running towards the fear and defeating fear. So my dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, an army of sheep led by a lion is sure enough to win. Is sure enough to win. And an army of lions led by a sheep is bound to lose. So would you like to become a lion in your organization, or would you like to be a sheep? Option is yours. If you are afraid of going to your own institution because you don't like somebody, You don't like a patient, you don't like regulatory authorities, and you don't like the government, you don't like the cops. You know, like that, if you have a phobia list, as to Matunga police station or Bandhugarden police station can file a criminal case against me, if that is the fear, then how are you going to lead your people? You know, I knew Madam Doctor when she was in 8th standard. Ma'am, would you raise your, see, look at her. I was DCP in Pune and she used to be in 8th standard. She topped the school and became a top class eye specialist. Thank you, ma'am, for recognizing me. She came and told me that, Ara, we used to live in the same building. You used to be a DCP and then I was in 8th standard, you know, very, so great success to you, ma'am. So here, consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. You can't be wavering every day in the name of improvement. Okay, you are improving, but you have to improve slowly. Okay, that is how it is. So this is my favorite. This is what I had used when I was joined CP crime. Strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory, and tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat. Would you click a picture of this, all of you? Because you are not going to remember any of what I spoke later. Nothing you will remember. So can you move that picture of mine? Who is the technical guy? True, but then it can come down. No, that why did you stop videography? Let me enjoy my presentation. It's a mess. Will you kindly stop? Let the mess continue. Okay. Here. So what can I control? Be careful about watching this. I can give you a copy of it, but then you will never have a look at it. That's why I'm asking you to click a picture. See here, what I can control as a doctor and what I cannot control as anybody, as a parent, as a wife, as a husband. So that is it. Out of my control is the past, the future, the actions of others, the opinion of others. I hope you are all thinking about what I am talking to you. Okay. But don't mess up now. I'm going to bring one gun next time and shoot everywhere. Okay. Please focus on this. Please focus on this. Otherwise, I'm wasting my time. I don't have to waste my time. Okay. Listen to me carefully. Otherwise, I'll close and go home. What is not in your control as doctors, let the photographer go out, is your past. Like doctor was, the president was telling me that I am from the lower middle class. I said, मैं तो उसको भी नीचे जो उससे भी कोई lawyer और भी कुछ है तो उससे मैं हूँ. But the point is no. Once I became an IPS officer, the playing field is level. I competed with all those guys coming from St. Stephen's College or Delhi University or whatever great universities we have. But the level playing field, I was much better than all of them, at least in the academics, if not in the outdoor. Outdoor means the body exercises. So that is how it is. The future. Can anybody say that my future is worrying me? Did Cyrus Mistry worry about his future and his fight with Ratan Tata on that day when he was traveling in the car, and in one hit, and his life went? So I am telling all of you, are you going to waste your life by worrying about your future? No, forget about it. The action of others, what your patient will file in future, why are you worrying now? Do your best. And जो record maintain करना है, वो तो mandatory है. वो कर लो, जो होता है देखा जाएगा बाद में. But in good faith, you are doing everything. The opinion, what you think of me, how does it matter, you know? How does it matter? Doesn't matter what car I came in, or what kind of a wristwatch I am wearing, or what kind of shoes I am wearing. Doesn't make any difference. What makes difference is my performance as a policeman, as a lecturer, as a presenter. The other thing is what happens around me, like what Narendra Modi is doing, what Amit Shah is doing, Hindu-Muslim divide, and PFI ka raid. Are you going to be worried about it? Not at all. Jo hona hai to hota hai, to hone do. What others think of me, that is the same opinion, and this, the outcome of my efforts. जो भगवान बोला था, जो कर्म तुम करो, जो फल मिलता है, तुम उसको खा लो. मीठा भी होगा, कभी-कभी खट्टा भी होगा. This is what Bhagavad Gita says. So if that is it, You do your efforts and don't worry about the result. Am I going to get a Bharat Ratna by the end of it? Or am I going to get a Nobel Prize? Or am I going to get the Maro Goli, So many people tell me, oh, you should get a Padma Shri. I said, Maro Goli, does the bloody Padma Shri change my attitude towards life or my success or my result? Nothing. So that is it. So the outcome need not be worried. How others take care of themselves. Like, whatever they do. Let them hang themselves. You got it? You got it, no? Let them hang themselves. You go and take a picture and take a selfie with the hanging body. Take a selfie. So that's it. Now, what is in your control is my boundaries as a doctor. You agreed? You can expand your boundaries. Can you expand? MBBS, MD, super specialty, uske upar jo bhi hai, wo sab. My thoughts and actions. Your thoughts and actions has to be positive all the way. The secret, Rhonda Byrne says, you think positive and you achieve positive. You think negative. अरे इससे शादी करेंगे तो हमारा डिवोर्स तो हो ही जाएगा. अरे यार शादी तो हुआ नहीं है अभी, पहले करेंगे ना. So पहले शादी तो करो फिर बाद में देखते हैं डिवोर्स के ऊपर. So like that. The goals I set. भारत रत्न होना है, पद्म विभूषण होना है. Set the goal. Nobel Prize. उसके बाद में फोकस करना चाहिए, कंसिस्टेंसी होना चाहिए. फोकस के ऊपर I will show you a video later. Then what I give my energy to? Am I chasing a mirage? Am I chasing wrong things like, for example, liquor, narcotics, and various other things? I hope all of you understand. All of you understand. I can give you so many examples of people who are achievers who are given to LSD and various other things and ruin their life. How I speak to myself. Am I giving negative inputs throughout the day? Or am I giving positive inputs today? The morning when you get up and when you see yourself in the mirror, do you see a lion roaring at you or a cat doing meow? What is it you are seeing? I hope you are all seeing a lion roaring and saying that this day is mine. I am going to the jungle for a royal hunt. Shivanandan mile, usko maar dal ke aa jayenge wapas. That is the kind of thought process you should have. And then the last one is, how do I face the challenges? For that, you have to be equipped by education or by various other thought process. My simple prognosis for that is vision, passion, courage, character, competence, self-image, and discipline. These 7 words, if you remember, you will handle all challenges. Vision about yourself. What are you going to become in the next 10 years or 20 years? And then you have to have a passion, complete focus, 10 times focus on your job you are doing. And then your courage, your competence is qualification where you learn from your colleges continuously until you die. And then your character, sterling character, chori karke paisa leke jana is not the character or doing wrong things. Today's Times of India, if you can kindly get that copy of Times of India, where in some state, I think, I hope it is Bihar or UP, some lady got admitted and her kidneys have been stolen. Can you get Times of India today? It's a medical profession. I wanted to show to you. Today's Times of India, sir, if you can get me, I'll show you the printed thing. When a patient has been admitted in the hospital, how can you steal the kidneys? Is it a character, national character? Shame on the medical profession. Sorry to say to a bunch of doctors if I speak like that, but it is printed in Times of India. Now, doctors are asking me in Thane, Madam Dr. Manjari, 700 doctors call me. I took Natarajan also, saying, why are doctors being attacked? I said, पहला आपका image देखा, सिनेमा में क्या दिखा रहे हैं, न्यूज़पेपर में क्या आ रहे हैं, और बाकी लोग क्या आपके ऊपर बोल रहे हैं, आपने देखा क्या? Are you attending to the image which you are acquiring every day? Today's press, if you read, in New Bombay, when I speak on women's safety, I show that news cutting. In ICU, a woman who was admitted was raped by a doctor. Such hai. Google search karo. You will get the name of the doctor, hospital, and the everything except the name of the woman who was raped. You will get everything else. Hurry, in ICU, in a hospital, a doctor, how can he do that? That's it. So these are the handling of challenges. So when you become a leader, when you become top of the heap, these are the qualities you should have. Since time is much less, it is 12:30 already. You have to have integrity, that is character, and you have to have honesty. You have to be a visionary like Modi, Narendra Modi. का vision देखा आपने? जो भी हो, right or wrong, you like it or not, whether you are this or that, he has a fantastic vision. He is going steadily on that. You agree? Disagree. But you can't disagree that he is a visionary. So he is a strong communicator, delegation of your authorities and decision-making skill, problem solving, empathy, innovative. In your job, if you are not innovative or inventive or both, you will be left out long before. I'm warning all of you. The science and technology today, Google is doing all your eye operations. I keep on sending to Natarajan all the time. Google is doing everything. So you will all be jobless one day if you are not going to be innovative or you are indulging in inventions. So honesty and integrity are the same, active listening and self-confidence and supportive. So here is another set of leadership thing. Fair attitude, inquisitiveness, self-motivated, humility. Humility is something which we all have to, oh, okay, I belong to the lower middle class, but I have become something now. I drive a Mercedes car. Do I behave arrogantly with the peon or the person who is opening the door, or in a hotel, or anyone who is coming on the hotel? People call and say, coffee love. He says, I'm also a customer, and you don't even care a damn as to see who is coming, and you are asking for a cup of coffee from me. Somebody can slap him or no? Humility. Read a book by Jim Collins. Jim Collins. If you could write, Jim Collins. Good to great. Save time. So Jim Collins, if you read, Good to Great is the name of the book. All of you must read. You must also read Malcolm Gladwell. Malcolm Gladwell. The book is called The Outliers. Outliers is the book. About the doctors is what is that book, Nati? That is that other one. So I'll tell you in a minute. Link. So Malcolm Gladwell, you should read. There is a new book called The Talking to the Strangers. You must all read. It is all downloadable in your PDF file. You can download free of cost to read. The book is called The Talking to Strangers. So I can speak about it for next 1 hour, but I have no time. So I'll go to the next one. So here is the movie. Can you move this movie? Anybody? Who's IT guy here? IT. You got it there? Hello, you got it there? Huh. How do you move? See it again. With focus, you see that. I want you to focus on your career like this. See it again. This is professionalism. See, one guy is focusing, the blue one. पीछे वाला. That's his goal. Right? So your focus has to be that. So when I told you risk taking, when you ये लाइट जरा ये लाइट बंदी कर दीजिए, वो नहीं चाहिए, ये लाइट रहने दीजिए, नहीं तो मैं गिरेगा. I know sir, ये तो daily सुबह सुबह I do अभ्यास of this, ना, like an IAS candidate. I read this newspaper as if I'm going to go to the IAS. Correct? All of them. डॉक्टर लोग आप गुस्सा तो नहीं करेंगे मेरे ऊपर, करेक्ट ना? Then what is your image? I'm not saying you are the only black sheep in the whole world. Policemen are also there. But then you have to worry about your image and I have to worry about my image. I hope you are not disagreeing with me. Huh? True for me as long as it is printed in Times of India. Please, can you sue Times of India to circulate that news? You sue Times of India for false news. I'll circulate to the whole world. So now risk taking. This is how a doctor has to take risk.
Sometimes my mind goes kind of
We
crazy.
don't talk about
skiing.
the good sheep, madam. We talk about the bad sheep.
And I ask myself,
Policemen, there are
what
millions of policemen who are nice, but we talk only about the bad policemen. See this. This is how the doctors have to practice. I will pack this for you, Mati. If you don't see, who will see? With the practice ease. He is going to go into a cave 2 kilometers and he will come out of that. He is falling, getting up. This is how you do this. Oh, go back. Yeah, play that. Forward karo.
Sometimes.
और भी थोड़ा फॉरवर्ड करो. और भी थोड़ा फॉरवर्ड करो. और भी थोड़ा फॉरवर्ड. बस, leave it. Look at this. देखा? That is risk taking for the doctor. That's it. Who do this? Can anyone offer to do this? Yes. Michael Schumacher. Now this cavern. He has come out of the earth. So that's it. Now I'm saying that can the doctors practice in such a way that they take risks like this? You have to take risks, but you have to go with full confidence and with practiced ease. That's it. We also go to law and order situation. None of the factors are in our favor. None of the factors are in our control. When a mob is attacking us, how they attack, what they use, what all they do, what we have, or how many people we have, nothing is in our control, but we do that. All of us, be endowed and equipped. Look at this man's self-confidence.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now, saving time. Saving time. You see in the YouTube if you feel like seeing it. He is a motivational speaker called Nick. Nick is a motivational speaker. He is born without limbs and he is married. He has produced a beautiful child and he goes in front of kings and queens and the topmost people in the world and he speaks to them on motivation. He says, I don't want your sympathy. I don't want your any other thing. I am fully confident that I am doing my job and you will benefit by listening to me. Look at the confidence. Now, what do we lack in this room? Is anybody is physically disabled? No. All of us have everything. God has given everything. Then what is the problem? I'm asking, what is the problem? That is how, if you work, then it happens. Motivation. So here is, you have to motivate your people. Here it is. Put this and sound.
I don't know what to say, really.
What sound badaiye. This is Al Pacino in a movie
3
called
minutes.
Any Given Sunday. My favorite. One
The
more
biggest
movie and
battle
I
of our
start
professional
today.
lives. All comes down to today.
Sound badaiye.
Either we heal as a team, or we're going to crumble.
What?
Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished. We're in hell right now, gentlemen. Believe me. And we can stay here,
How
get the
many
shit
things can
kicked
go
out of
wrong?
us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time. Now, I can't do it for you. I'm too old. I look around, I see these young faces, and I think, I mean, I made every wrong choice a middle-aged man can make. I pissed away all my money, believe it or not. I chased off anyone who's ever loved me. And lately, I can't even stand the face I see in the mirror. You know, when you get old in life, things get taken from you. I mean, that's part of life. But you only learn that when you start losing stuff. You find out life's this game of inches. So is football. Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 a step too
Listen to
late
this
or
carefully.
too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. Hell yeah. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know when we add up all those inches, that's gonna make the fucking difference between winning and losing. Between living and dying. I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's gonna win that inch. And I know if I'm gonna have any life anymore, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that inch. Because that's what living is. The 6 inches in front of your face. Now, I can't make you do it. You gotta look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. Now, I think you're gonna see a guy who will go that inch with you. Hell yeah. You're gonna see a guy who will sacrifice himself for this team because he knows when it comes down to it, you're gonna do the same for him. Hell yeah. That's a team, gentlemen. Hell yeah. And either we heal now as a team, or we will die as individuals.
That's it. Either we heal as a team,
I don't know what to say,
or we,
really.
the sound has to be reduced. Who's that person controlling sound? Would you
3 minutes.
I am booming.
To the biggest battle of our professional lives.
Okay. All right, Dr. Kamta. Ladies and gentlemen, what Al Pacino was trying to say is that there are everywhere there are opportunities, and you have to look and grab the opportunities, and then you have to grow. When we work as a team, either we heal as a team or we die as individuals. all of you are working for hospitals that lots of people are together. Either you all progress together as a team or you die as individuals. In our cricket or in our hockey or in our football, all these teams, we don't win at all. In individually, Neeraj Chopra or some Chanu, Meera Chanu, or somebody is winning or shooting Abhinav Bindra. Why are we not winning in team games? Because we are playing for myself. I won't play for, you please, YouTube mein jaake dekhiye. There is a football team where they do 46 passes. 46 times the ball is rolling amongst them only, that 11 players, and the 47th pass, he scores a goal. Now, who has scored the goal? Is it that guy? Will he get million, Ronaldo or Maradona or whoever it is? Or those fellows who maneuvered it 46 times? In India, our guys think that I should be the winner and not you. I hope you are all carrying this hope. So now, one more. Sheep, black sheep. But I want to say, anybody can say that this character is not me. I will give you $1 million if you say, "Ye main nahi hoon." Okay, please play this. This last video. No dialogue, so no sound. Black hole, ladies and gentlemen, all of us. This is a dialogue-less movie. You this or not? He needs sugar now. You can blame it on the sugar. Dollars, currency. Babu, enough. You hear the ting, ting, ting noise? What is that? Not alarm. He is knocking. Who the heck? Huh? No, I don't know. Who has laid you trap for you, ma'am? Nobody has laid a trap, but trap is something which is laid by others. This is a trap laid by others or anything like that. है ना? So मेरा कहना ये है आपको कि moral superiority is the only superiority. You could be Ratan Tata or Cyrus Mistry or Narendra Modi or Amit Shah or anybody. Ultimately, you command respect only by moral superiority. Hope you all agree. Don't support any black sheep, saying that some black sheep are allowed in medical profession. No, there is no question. Moral superiority is only superiority. And Albert Einstein says the same thing. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. Look at some examples. They are all like you. They are maybe better than you. Multi-million dollars versus salaries. Rajat Gupta of McKinsey of USA, Indian, got caught. Insider trading. spent time in jail, paid a few $1 million, came out and wrote a book saying that main chori nahi kiya. That black sheep, you know, I'm not the black sheep, I'm a white sheep. Who is this? Come on. What's her name? She is Chitra Ramakrishna of NSC. Now, all of you should read newspaper every day. Okay, please read newspaper. So here, this is the other lady you are mentioning. This is it, and this is different. She is in the lockup, and this one should be in lockup, but she is not in lockup. Okay, because of various reasons. And here are the police. You say black sheep. Police में नहीं है क्या बोल के आप पूछ रहे थे ना? मुझे पूछा था. Some lady asked, क्या चोर नहीं करता है क्या? ऐसा मुझे पूछा था. यही है. So they are there in every walk of life. So my dear doctors, moral superiority is only superiority. Just because you are wearing rank in the car, the flag, people are saluting, और तुतारी बजाता है कहीं भी गया, तो वो respect नहीं है. After 12 years of retirement, when you walk into a place, how the policemen give you respect is the moral superiority. I hope you all take this home. Your money, your Mercedes Benz, your suit, your expensive a boot and this and that is of no value. Rakesh Junjunwala started his business with 5,000 rupees and ended up with 48,000 crores as his wealth. What has he taken up? Moral superiority is the only superiority. So this I mentioned earlier. This is the secret of success. We can speak for next one full day. I can give a lecture on this 7 things for 24 hours. But since time given is only 8 minutes more, I stop. So these are all things we handled, and I was part of all these things, and we did all that what we can do. Since time is not there, so I can go around. This is what the talk. Whatever I have spoken, did I do? Somebody can ask, were you a darpok? Were you dead? You know? Were you afraid? Did you have a Z-scale security? Did you have a bulletproof car? The answer is no. We shot 300 of them to death and closed organized crime syndicate in Mumbai. And legally, not illegally, legally it was done. So here are the people who did that, and this is that Sun Tzu thing, and these are all the strategies we followed. And this is how when I joined in 1998, I was in Gadchiroli. I was fighting the Naxalites in Gadchiroli area. When I was brought in Mumbai as joint CP crime, the police was the same, the laws were the same, the gangsters were the same. Arun Gavli में दिखाया था, आपने देखा कि नहीं पता नहीं. Karim Lala, Varatharajan Mudaliar, Arun Gavli, Amar Naik, blah blah blah. Everybody was there. Police was the same. Police was accused of being partisan. इसके बाजू में पैसा उसके बाद. But then you bring one leader, everything remaining the same. It worked like magic, like doctors administering medicine for fever. If my fever was 101 deaths in 1 year, the medicines we gave, it became half next year. It became half next year. It became half next year from 2002 to 2022. In 20 years, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have a single shootout either by the police or by the criminals. Dr. Deepak Shetty was shot in Kalyan. You know that? Do you remember Dr. Deepak Shetty? He was shot by extortionists. Various other doctors. One more doctor in a car was killed. What's his name? Jakar or Jaikar. Jakar, nahi, Jaikar. So like that, it is all. If you are led by a lion, any army of sheep can be winners, and this has been proved there. And since 20 years, ladies and gentlemen, we have zero crime. Okay, zero crime means gangsters, shooting, killing, all that. So the same thing happened in 2611. Everything was there, but the commander-in-chief was not the lion we needed to be. So we had a 4-day drama. Two terrorists held the whole country to ransom. And then what all happened? All people who lost their lives, Then we did all this. After that, I became the CP. We did all that. Since then, 2008 to now, not a single terrorist attack in Mumbai, Uri, Pathankot, various other things happened, but nothing happened here because we could lead. It is all due to the leadership. Of course, the government, the Commissioner of Police, and various others supported. So that's a different matter. So here, I would say that you all have to re-innovate every now and then. Take a picture. Re-innovate every now and then. You have to reinvent your strategies, your technology, your operational skill, the technical instruments, and various other things you have to reinvent. And it has to be a continuous development. You have to re-strategize. If you are having a company and it has to have a top line and the bottom line growing up year after year, top line is the revenue and bottom line is the profit. You heard a finance lecture just now, no? So that is it. If your bottom line profit has to grow, you have to re-strategize and you have to rethink. Every day morning, get up at 5 o'clock. Does anyone get up at 5 o'clock in the morning? Anyone gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning in this crowd? Thank God. Somebody will say that the Buddha ho gaya, tumko neend nahi aata, to hum kya kare? No? So that's it. Okay, but please, for your kind information, from my childhood, I have been getting only at 4 o'clock in the morning. Even now, I get up at 4:30, 4:45. Neend nahi aata, aisa nahi hai. Neend I can always produce. Okay, rethink and reinvent. Reinvent like the phoenix bird, which dies, gets burnt, becomes ashes, and another bird comes up. That is how you should be reinventing your lives. So you have to do continuous improvement in your thing. You can't say, okay, I have become a great man, doctor. Everybody is saluting me. You are God on earth. The other problem with the doctors is some patient or the other puts in their mind that you are God on earth. You are not God on earth. You are only mere doctors. You also, COVID mein dekha, how many doctors died? If you are all gods on earth, why did you die? 800 of you? You are all human beings. Please believe when some patient is praising you, asking for a concession. He is asking for a concession when he says you are a doctor, you are a God on earth. No, tell him, no, I am a doctor, you pay my fees now. Okay? So that is it. That's it. So building. So this is another story. And since time is only 2 minutes left, and I promise to do that. This is what? To improve the lives of others and give your life. That is another thing. Then I will cyber crime. I wanted to all of you that you are all subject to cyber crime, but I prepared so much for you, but I have no time, so I will skip next time. Next time, Nati, I will speak only on cyber crime. Okay, now I am skipping cyber. So much I prepared for you people, but time is run out. So Mumbai Roti Bank is an initiative done by me as a reinvent, rethink, re-strategize and all that. Much after retirement, 8 years after retirement, I said the hungry have to be fed. Government is spending 57,000 crores in the last 3 years, every year, year after year. So I can't do that. But then we began one. And for the first 2 years, we collected food which was going waste in gatherings. And we served 5 lakh in 2018. Another 5 lakh meals in 2019. So 1 million in 2 years. Then COVID came. 2020 March 24th or 25th or so, the COVID clampdown started. We should have stopped. Our expectation was that you should stop. Don't go, get out, don't cook food, don't go to all this Dharavi and all that. You will get COVID, you will die. No, we faced it like a lion would do. We created 4 hotels which were closed. We borrowed their excess capacity, produced 47,000 meals and gave it to the same Dharavi, Worli, Sayan Kolivada, all those red hot zones. We went there and gave 10,000 meals a day. And with that, now, ladies and gentlemen, in this 3 to 4 years, we have given 98,92,649 meals. I got a picture for each meal we have given. It is up in the cloud. I can give you access. You can see that. You can go to the rotibankindia.org and see all the pictures. And we also grew in this time when we are supposed to be afraid, when we are supposed to be getting COVID and dying. We have grown in Chennai, Coimbatore, Nagpur, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, and Cuttack. So this is also a success story. This is giving back to the society. All that you have enjoyed as a commissioner of police or whatever it is, you have to give it back to the society. So that is what we are doing. These are my main targets. In COVID time, unfortunately, we went behind the children and the parents were unemployed. Their grandparents were unemployed. We fed all of them. Now we are focusing more on school children so that they will get nutritious food and they grow better, come back to school and become employed, become doctors and engineers or whatever it is. So today my target is that. So this is my email ID, dsiva100@gmail. Don't look at the picture, it is little marked, little touch up kiya hai. So otherwise you take the email ID, you could always be in touch. Thank you very much. I've taken 1 minute more, 60 seconds more. Thank you. Any questions, comments, criticisms? Switch on this light, please. Any point? Ma'am, for that, this success का definition आप क्या है वो देखिए. Kindly write in your notebook. Read a definition of success by a man called Ralph Waldo Emerson. R-A-L-P-H. Ralph Waldo. W-A-L-D-O. Emerson. Ralph Waldo Emerson. If you read his definition of success, then you will see why should I do this small chori ka dhanda karke कोई Lexus लेना है या Maruti लेना है या Mercedes लेना है. What is success? Can anybody Natarajan download it and read it out? Yes, read it out loudly. Come on, have this. Mike, give him the mic. Mike. This if you follow, madam. I'm answering.
So this is my favorite. I learned from him only. He reads a lot. To laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children. To earn.
Give to me, Nati. I'll read. मेरा voice थोड़ा booming है ना? Yes. No, listen.
That's my shame.
Listen. No mic also. Sit. See here, ma'am. I'm answering your question and all others. What is success? Having a Mercedes Benz, having a flat in Malabar Hill, buying a flat for 151 crores. What is it? Or leaving 48,000 crore and dying with the dialysis and amputated leg and various other things. To laugh often and much. Can you do that, ma'am? Can you laugh often and much? That is success. To win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children. She was a child when I was a DCP. I have won her affection as a child. I didn't give any chocolates or anything like that. I was running up and down. Mara danda, police ka danda chalu tha. I was nice to them. Many children, even in Marvel, no, madam. Very children, my friends. Kalyani was one daughter of an IAS officer, Prabhakar Karandikar. She was a cute little child. She used to come and talk to me nicely, bring a small Pomeranian and all that. I was unmarried. I was a small, so I used to be nice to the children. So that's it, how it is. To win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children. To earn the appreciation of honest critics. Honest critics. Got it, madam? And endure the betrayal of false friends. That is success. When you have false friends, and if they are stabbing you on the back, you endure that. That is also success. Got it? To appreciate the beauty, we do now. Maybe अच्छी लड़की है या लड़का है, Brad Pitt हो, Angelina Jolie हो, so we appreciate beauty. Do we do or no? We all do. So we are success. To find best in others. Do we do this? No. We don't do any best in others. We don't find any best in others. We are the embodiment of everything which God has given to us. We are the sculpture of Leonardo da Vinci or anybody. We think that. We don't see the best in others. Kindly, please do self-introspection. We don't. वो डॉक्टर मुझसे अच्छा हो सकता है क्या? वो सब पता है what is that powder? उसका कमीज मुझसे सफेद कैसे है? वो, हाँ? Can you back to your mobile? So that is success. I'm answering still your question. I hope you are satisfied. If you disagree, you're most welcome. To find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by leaving a healthy child, or a golden patch, or a redeemed social condition. What I'm doing, Roti Bank, is doing a redeemed social condition. To know even one life has breathed. Doctor, I'm talking about doctors. To know success is to know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. Because you are a doctor, one life has got eyesight and andhakar se wo bach gaya hai. That is success. You charge it or not is a different matter. Okay? This is to have succeeded. You can take any definition you like. Having a Mercedes, or having a bungalow, or becoming a Narendra Modi, or going to US all the time. If all these things are considered success, so be it. You go in that line. It is like running behind a mirage. Mirage. I don't know. Hindi Marathi mein kya bolte hain, samajh mein aaya nahi. But mirage. So run, it always runs ahead of you. Correct? You can never reach a mirage. क्या बोले मृग? अपना बस की बात नहीं है मैडम. My limitation is not that. Okay. So वो है वो mirage is a mirage only for me. है ना? मराठी जरी मी मिराजच वापरणार. मी काही दुसरा काहीतरी मृग वगैरे मला बोलायला येत नाही. So ये है. Now tell me, all of you, is the definition of success appealing? I want to give you another gyan this time, 7 minutes more. Happiness has to come from within. Your husband or your wife or your child or your others cannot make you happy. Believe me, by marrying some bloody idiot, if you think that he is going to give, he or she is going to make you happy in this world, no, nothing wrong. It is absolutely wrong. It's absolutely wrong. Who is responsible for making you happy? It is you yourself. You. Now, what brings you happiness? What brings you happiness? Go to Ralph Waldo Emerson. Correct, no? What brings you happiness? Like at this age of 72, am I supposed to go and feed all the poor hungry people? Corruption karo, 1000 koti banao, absconding raho. Do you know a Dr. Saurav Tripathi? He is the MD ophthalmology or whatever he is, and he is absconding since 9 months. He is an IPS officer. Google. Dr. Saurav Tripathi, MD, IPS, DCP, Mumbai, absconding from the same police since last 9 months. Moral superiority is only. Who will salute him? The same police will put Hathkadi and take him to the jail when they track him. So happiness is not the responsibility of others. Money cannot make you happy. If money is supposed to be making us happy, all of us should be very, very happy. We have enough money to lead a good life. Disagree? Agree? Don't you think we have enough money to lead a good life? If you are going to buy that Bally shoe, B-A-L-L-Y, for 3 lakhs or 4 lakhs, wahi pehenna hai. ऐसा बोला तो you will never be happy. Wear Bata shoes, na? है ना? We all are, we means I am talking about my generation, not your generation. We believed in Bata, we believed in Raymond, we believed in whatever regular Colgate, we believed in whatever things we daily used. Only that much. उससे आगे कोई बताए ना, you know that? To go to the shop, you have to pay 1 or 2 lakhs of rupees, no? Ek tie dekha, so 47,000 rupees. Horrible tie it is. This is given by Dr. Natarajan. You must all clap once, you know. You must all clap once. All my All my ties, 100% are given by Dr. Natarajan. Point is, you buy that ties from Gucci, then Salvador Ferragamo and all that. They are all 40 Hermes. You know that? It is 40,000 rupees a tie. Stupid little piece of cloth. Even Paipusni, yeah, even to wipe your table, it is not fit enough. But you are saying that much because somebody pray. Madam is thinking, koi to pehchano, iske piche kya luka hai? Ye dekho. You know, people go on impressing. Dekho, ye mera brand dekho, ye dekho, mera gadi dekho, mera juta dekho. If this is what is life, we are going to die a very miserable death. Correct, no? Facebook. The day you pout, बोल के कोई 57 लोग अगर नहीं बोले तो बहुत बढ़िया है, fantastic. Normally for 57 people say you are fantastic, you are great. And अगर कुछ कम हो गया, 47 हो गया, you die of a broken heart. अरे आज मैं handsome नहीं है क्या? You are stupid, horrible looking creature. Those 57 people want something from you. Okay. Those 57 people want something. ताली इसलिए बजा रहे हैं. The minute you can't do that to them, ताली stop हो जाएगा. Okay. So that's it, ma'am. Have I answered your question? If you are unsatisfied, once again. Huh? I have done it. I have done it. I have done it, ma'am. Nobody in the state of Maharashtra would ever say that they have given me 1 rupee or 1 glass of water. You can check. No policeman, no builder, nobody will say that. So I have lived, and I'm so happy. At 72, believe me, when I'm preaching all these things, I have never been admitted to a hospital. Natti has given all ties, but he has not given apples to me in the hospital. वो बाकी है. सही है? Have I ever been admitted to a hospital? You came to see me? Never. How is it, ma'am? How is it that I am healthy after doing such jobs? 6 years in crime branch. He cleaned up Mumbai. 6 years as commissioner of police. 6 years in the intelligence bureau. 3 years in the CBI. 3 years in Gadchiroli. Any time my vehicle could have been blown up, or I could have been shot in an ambush. Okay. How I am remained healthy? Because I have defined what exactly is going to control. I showed you that diagram. Out of my control, in my control, what others think and all that. You've taken a picture of that. You do introspection and then define as to what. Last line. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि I am telling all of you, don't work hard, don't earn money, don't buy Mercedes. ये मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. मैं बोल रहा हूँ, work hard, earn money, buy your Mercedes, buy through the moral superiority. You must buy Mercedes. You must get all awards and rewards and recognitions, but through the method which is appreciated or approved by who? Definitely not by crooks. You know?
You should read his editorial in the Indian Express about a month back, criticizing what's happening in India, and everybody told him he may be killed.
Nutty. 14 minutes more. Done. Thank you very much. Let's all go. Bye-bye. Bye.
Hello. Just one announcement. Hello. Just one announcement. We'll move for a group photograph outside now. So in the lobby, it won't be possible to, accommodate all the people. So we'll move down to the stairs at the main gate. So we'll quickly take the stairs and go down. You can leave everything here. You just carry your mobile phone, and after that we'll go for lunch. So you can leave everything here. It's safe here. No problem. Yeah. Yeah, we'll come back by 2 o'clock after lunch. 2 o'clock, I say. Yes. So quickly, we'll move forward to the stairs at the main gate for the group photograph. Thank you.